Yeah, what's up, y'all? Word, it's about that time. We've been doing these shows, since December, I think, is when we committed to doing a show every single game. And now we're at, game 32-ish, and it's the NCAA tournament. It's time to put up or shut up, or put out and shut out. I don't know how you even just go about saying that. But anyway, I'm grateful, I should say, to have you guys here with me today on another beautiful day. And the reason it's beautiful is because the Auburn Tigers are playing some basketball today. They're going to engage in some basketball action. Let me turn this light on. Right, there we go. I like the bright eagle. That's important to me. Anyway, guys, it is great to be here, and I'm glad to have you guys here with me today for another edition of The Brain Drain, where we talk about the Auburn basketball greatness. In real time, today they're going to be taking on the ASU Hornets, a team that I used to know well because I covered ASU back in 1998. Not basketball. I didn't make it that far, but I got the football season in me. T Park, by the way, I got to go to Alcorn State, Grambling, Southern. I made my way through the SWAC, and it was very enjoyable. T Park, my man, comes through with a super chat, as he often does. He's one of our all-time greats in the greater Atlanta area, and he gets a super chat. Thank you, T Park. Appreciate your support all the time with us. Feel like a stranger. Says, word up, much love, trainers, Swoogans, and Tates. Let's make history starting today. I would love to see it. You would love to see it. Everyone in this chat, except for the random bammers, would love to see it. Thank you for that, bro. And you've definitely been here for us big time. CDF also have been here with us for a long time, and he has put a lot of time and money into his Auburn fandom in the past 6 months. He said, Gump Police to be called in on this one, homicide. Whoa, they would be used to that, wouldn't they? Just because our city has more homicides than it should. Anyway, CDF can make jokes like that because he's from the general area, and it's all okay. Even though I've been living in Montgomery since 1998, we could see some gallows humor and stuff like that. Glad to have you here, my man. Still waiting on an opportunity to play some Warzone with your ass. Shane jumps in as well. Shane's been huge for us, huge. Although I think he was concerned that Louisville might have beaten Creighton. I don't know. I can't remember if Shane felt that way about it. But he says, let's take care of business today. Let's give him an applause. That's for T Park, Flass, also CDF, a.k.a. Duff Diver, and Shane as well. Don Properdicken is coming to us across the ocean from Maastricht, Holland. He says, time for some serious day drinking. Can't wait, bro. I've got some stuff here. If Cleveland Brown's with us, I want you to know I've got plenty of hydration station here. I've got my favorite bourbon drinking bottle, well, outside of the one that Chip made me. This is a wide mouth Glencairn, right? Great for drinking. And we're going to be drinking one of my favorites just when it's me and my homies drinking. We're going to drink this Seagrass Barrel. And it's kind of a fruity, sweet bourbon. You'd almost think it was flavored, but it ain't. There's Philip Marshall and Nate King. Look at Philip Marshall, the thinner, more svelte Philip Marshall. And Nate's having to explain to him where the sidelines are. I'm just kidding. He wouldn't really do that. Neil Jones, who's coming probably further away than Don. Neil's all the way in Scotland. Says, what's up, Daytime Drain Squad 1 team in Alabama? We've been talking, I've been talking to Neil about like Troy being in the tournament and ASU being in my town and stuff. It's been great. He's got a lot of passion for the Auburn Tigers and learning more about the game of basketball because it's not very popular over where he's at. Football, some people will talk about American football over there, but he don't get much about basketball. So we're kind of teaching him a little bit as we move along. Appreciate having you here, Guy. And you're definitely a good luck charm for us, no doubt. Big Sipper says, you were right, JG. The Louisville Goobers are trash. I did warn you guys. Not that you doubted me, big man. But that is something that is worth talking about. Yeah, Louisville lost to Creighton, really a game that Creighton led either all of that game or damn near all of that game and got up probably, I don't know, maybe 15, 17. Louisville got it back down to like maybe 10-ish, 11-ish, and then Pat Kelsey got a technical for saying something to the ref. And then Creighton hit 2 free throws plus scored on the possession, and they were off and running. That was pretty much it. That was with about 7 minutes to go. So not the best technical in the history of technicals. Neil says, what channel can I find the game on? Is it going to be on live stream like the Drain Again, JJ? Boy, they slapped my booty real fast the other day, didn't they? So in the United States, this is on kind of a weird. I take that back. So United States, this particular game, I think, is going to be on mainline ABC. So for us here in the States, it's on. I'm sorry, CBS. So it's like the national CBS feed. I think you probably have a fighting chance of getting that one. Some of the other games are on some goober networks like True TV that I doubt you're going to be able to get. But my guess is you'll be able to at least got a shot to get national CBS feed. So that could be good. We got some other of our legends in here. Hornatius is in here with us. Ephesians, Jester, Justin C, Bill M. Glad to have you here, bro. Solo Tigre, of course, one of the Titans. Frank, one of the Titans. Chris M. I don't know what else I could say about Chris M that hasn't already been said. The guy's just truly a pillar of the community. Glad Kyle's here as well. Glad to have you guys here with me today. Let's talk about Creighton. Here's the box score from the game today with the Blue Jays against the hated Cardinals from University of Louisville, who will not be playing in Rupp Arena anymore this season. Hopefully ever again, because they're a disgrace. You guys know I hate Louisville. Creighton, of course, known as the Blue Jays. They're from Omaha, Nebraska. And they got a pretty good ball club. Ryan Kalkbrenner is a tall one. Goes for 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting. He had himself a game. A very efficient game. The kind of game that I wish that Dylan Cardwell would have. 6 rebounds. Neal, who had a lot of free throws down the stretch. 12 boards and 29 points. I kept showing his mom, who was on the horn. She was happy telling all of her friends about it. 57% from the floor, 46% from 3 today. Not great from the free throw line. And also had a, 5 rebound advantage. Ball handling, as you guys know, I'm big on that. 17 assists and 10 turnovers, not too shabby. And let's be real, nobody gives a damn about what Louisville did. Justin C says, use that VPN. That is how you do it right there, bro. There he is. CBS got in. Thank you. There we go. That's my guy right now. And I don't know if it's Rachel or if it's Mr. R, but he says L's down, baby. That's right. He knows. Me and Mr. R were trying to tell you guys the other day, Louisville ain't shit. And you guys were like, well, they're ranked 10th. I'm like, I would be relying on the opinions of some dumbass sports writers, of which I am one, to decide that they're actually a top 10 team. No. They ain't. So the winner of this game is going to play the Creighton Blue Jays, a team that's a little bit different than Louisville. Creighton, as you saw today, can actually shoot the basketball, and they're a good scoring team. The problem is that typically they don't defend much. They did okay today, holding Louisville to 75, if you want to call that a good defensive day, but I think Auburn can do some real damage to them. AU Taxman says, how am I supposed to work while we are draining? It doesn't happen very often that we get to do these drains during the middle of the day, which means we've got an excuse to drink. In fact, I'm going to turn this one right here to my man Neil J. And also Don Proper Dickin, our 2 overseas viewers. Appreciate you too. All right, there we go. Oh, yeah. It's got such a weird, it don't taste like bourbon. And we're going to start off the game with a turnover. Auburn usually averages about 7 to 8 per game. And the first possession yields a turnover from Chad, who was trying to make one of those. It looked like Janai was making a flex cut, and Chad probably had him open, but just didn't quite get it there. Auburn playing, ASU playing 5 wide, as you would expect. That's what a lot of people have been doing to Auburn lately. And I fully expect that Auburn to have a significant advantage today in rebounding and also shots. I expect Auburn to be plus 15 in field goals attempted, and I expect Auburn to be plus 11 at least in rebounding. ASU takes the first lead of the game, 3-0. My wife absolutely hates it when announcers say that. When the first basket of the game, they say that blank, blank, blank takes the first lead of the game. She goes, it's 2 points. Nobody cares. GW says, are we swag today? This might be the only day that we're not swag. And guess what? Miles Kelly says, splash. Boy, Miles had himself a game in the last time that Auburn played inside this arena against University of Kentucky maybe 3 weeks ago. Banked in a couple threes, had a nice day. Looks like this might be the first time that Neil J. Has come in contact with Allie LaForce. Of course, those of us stateside have been appreciative of her talents for a long time now. ASU just took a parabolic three-pointer from about 5,000 feet and hit nothing but the bottom of the backboard. It happens. I feel like we see more of those now than we used to. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like in the 90s, there weren't a whole lot of just total misses. And now you see like 5 a game. Janai Broom laying it in. Drop. Nice pass there from Chad Bacon Lasagna. Of course, we talked about this for when we watched the ASU STFU game the other night. But Matt Locke, the head coach at ASU, is a former Auburn assistant under Tony Barbee. And his son TJ just took that shot, number 20, and hit it. Nice little turnaround. And it's tied early. Oh, Dylan with a nice rebound. Uh-oh, Janai's going to the house. Got fouled. He's like, how did I not get that ball in? This is kind of early for Auburn to have a free throw in a game, though, right? Auburn averages about 2 free throws a half. Of course, Tony's wife, Stacy, a really nice person. We had a chance to get to know her a little bit when Tony was coaching at Auburn. She's a really nice person. So it's very, very easy family to cheer for. All right. Janai hits one of the 2 free throws and gets Auburn to 6. Let's see. Neil J. says, how many minutes for Chad before he gets evicted? Evicted. We were thinking ejected. I bet you he's going to make it the rest of this tournament. There's just too many eyes on him, including his head coaches. And even though BP didn't really want to talk about it too much in the press, I think he's had a pretty stern series of conversations with Chad about what needs to happen, what doesn't need to happen, if you know what I mean. I'm curious to see if Auburn can increase the attacking tempo when Tahad comes in. Now, you still got Denver playing point right now, and I feel like the tempo is always fast with him there. Miles Kelly from the corner, or from the... That's actually not the corner. That's like the side, I guess. That's his favorite spot for sure. Kind of that left 45-degree angle. ASU missed another one. Dylan's got himself another rebound. We've been saying for so long, please just be Dennis Rodman. Please just get rebounds and defend, Dylan. Please. Oh, look at that pass. That Miles says, oh, yes. Miles again.
He's on fire.
Oh, my goodness. He's taking over another game in Rupp, guys. ASU's just going to play it. I like it. I respect it. Damn, Miles Kelly is tearing it up. Tearing it up. March Miles in full effect. We're going to give a laugh on that one. Well done, Solo. Neil, you're good, bro. I know you're kind of learning some of the lingo. Again, basketball not real big where he's at. Frank, you're so right. Miles Kelly, that left side. I don't know. I just call it I don't know what to call that. The slot. It's not straight on. It's not the corner. It's somewhere perfectly in the middle of that. So we'll call it the slot, I guess. He is Splash City from there. So let's go ahead and get rid of these Creighton Louisville stats that don't really matter anymore. And let's get some hot, fresh stats from the Auburn Tigers game. It's going to take me a second here. Actually, it's not. Oh, yeah, it is. I got to get over to the Auburn stat feed. I still had it on the Creighton game. All right, Auburn is on a 7-0 run. Auburn is also on a 12-2 run. And Auburn has hit 4 of its last 5 shots from the floor. I made the mistake in 1997 of talking to Bobby Knight about shots from the field. And he said, young man, there's no field. It's a floor. And so ever since then, I just say Auburn's shooting XXX from the floor. He got on me about it in the middle of a press conference. It's all right. No big deal. It's not like it affects me 35 years later. There's your box score right there. The Auburn Tigers on a 4 of 6 heater to start this game. And, of course, Miles Kelly has 9 points already on 3 of 3. Couldn't be more perfect if he tried, guys. Boise, there he is. I mean, I'm sorry. Bo is great. Who's coming to us live from Oman where he's not having to pay many taxes. He says, will there be snacks at this brain drain? Hell yeah, there's going to be snacks. Come bring your cup over here, and I'll get you some of this barrel seagrass. See what you think about it. 118 proof. I don't know. It might be a little strong for you, my man. It's rye whiskey finished in Martinique rum, Madeira, and apricot brandy barrels. So this is kind of an unusual taste, but you know what? This is an unusual situation. The Auburn Tigers. When I tell people, various basketball coaches about from the floor, they love to say, and Chad Pruitt loves to give me hell about it and says, then why don't we say floor goals? Why don't you ask Bobby Knight about it? Oh, wait, he's dead. If he was alive, I'd still encourage you to ask him about it because he'd whoop your ass and scream at you, call you bad names. And you would say you'd be tough and wouldn't care. But you actually would because he's very intimidating. He says, sounds fancy. Kind of is fancy, like the Auburn Tigers basketball team, number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. So get you some of that. Bammer Baller Brand says hashtag Bammer Baller TV. Just behave yourself and you'll be Gucci here, bro. You're welcome. You're welcome to be here as long as you behave yourself. I feel like a stranger says, at least he didn't try to throw a chair at you. Solo says you need to boot the effing BAM. I like to give people an opportunity to hang, even if they're not Auburn people. If they behave themselves, I don't mind. We had a good chat that one time with the gal from Gonzaga. I forgot what her name was. All right, now we got Tahad in there. You made like your second switch here. You got Chaney in there playing 4, and you've got Tahad playing point. Nice pass. Tahad from straight away center. And Auburn gets another offensive rebound. I love the second chance opportunities. You know I'm big on that. Coach Sonny Smith is the one who got me thinking about that more. I love the anticipation of the pass from Janai as soon as that double team came over. That's a jump. And that's going to Alabama State. Scott M. in the house. What up, bro? Glad to have you here. Hanging out with us. And Blake jumped in with a super chat earlier. Comes in with a thunderous arrival. One of our East Coasters. Who's an absolute stud. JGT, nothing like getting off work early enough to watch some NCAA tournament Auburn basketball and joining the drain. Could it get better? The only way it could get better is for you to be here, and now you're here, and so it got better. Simo comes in as the 8th man today, so Auburn is going to play 8. Hopefully, Kai gets in there and makes it 9. Been a rough couple of weeks not being able to join, but me here now. Ward and Amiable peeps. I think the last time we had you was when you were off that week, and it was amazing having you on the show. Like full time, so I'm glad we have you today. I think you're good luck, too. You and Neil, Jay, are good luck for sure. My man's just trying to juke Janai out of his sneakers, and hey, man, he hit the shot. I don't know if he juked him real bad, but he hit the shot. As we learned from watching ASU play the other day against STFU, that they don't mind shooting. They're fearless. They don't care. Miles Kelly again. Uh-oh.
He's on fire! He's on fire!
We'll give him a double. He's on fire. Auburn's up to 15. He's up to 12 himself. Holy shiz, y'all. He is absolutely en fuego, as Solo Tigre says. ASU just turned the ball over. Chip Chip's looking for an 18-0 run. Chip Chip's that guy. He wants death. Take them out more. Frank G says, can Kelly show Tahad how to shoot threes? It's not really shooting threes. It's Tahad's problem. It's making threes, right? I feel like a stranger says, give that man the rock. I know who he's talking to. He wants more Miles Kelly. More. That is Splash City right now for Miles Kelly. He's hitting everything. 4 of 4 now from 3-point range. Oh, that was a great play by Chaney to kind of slow play that. Go, 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 go. Tahad. I like that. Drop. I love these buckets, man. I love the way Auburn's just kind of going about things right now, playing freely. Boy, Chaney did a good job. I thought he didn't have the angle on number 2 there, and then he did. Nicely done. Good hustle. ASU basically going 5 out again. This is what everybody does to them. Whoa. How was that not a palm? He had the ball above his head like this. I usually call that. There it is. Solo Tigre says, hey, when you can't shoot, take it to the rack, young fella. He's taking your advice, Coach Solo. Neil J says, this is a great opportunity to spread the minutes with the rest of the squad, keeping the main men fresh for future foes. That's actually not a bad idea. I don't know that you're quite to that point yet. The problem there is, is he willing, BP, to play Kai? I think they don't really trust him per se because of his behavioral issues. Would they be willing to just even kind of reward him? I mean, in practice and stuff, he busts his ass, plays hard. He's there for his teammate, put the effort in. I can say the same for JP too, though. Well, that was a bullet pass from Miles. I was like, if he hits this, man, shut the door. Finally missed one. He's all the way down to 4 of 5 from 3. This is Janai get himself another defensive rebound. Auburn doesn't have to play fast right now, but they are. The tempo is definitely there. Bo says, we are pretty much playing a Tony Barbie disciple. I don't know if I would put that on him. I don't know if Tony deserves that, but he is a former Tony Barbie employee, or subordinate, as some would say. Hit that, Miles. Oh, Miles missed another one, guys. Take him out. He's only 4 of 6 now from 3. This is a joke. Matlock just had to sit down for a minute. I don't know what he's freaking out about. Steve says the review just reminded me that we don't have to worry about Patch Adams during this tournament. Are you sure? Uh-oh. Is Simo hurt? Oh, he's getting up. Thought it might have been a hamstring. Oh, no, it was his right ankle. He just kind of rolled it. He may have stepped on that guy's foot. Yes, he did. Oh, man, I bet you that hurts, dude. Looks like he's up, though. All right, so if Simo is out, that definitely means Kai's going to have to play some. Without a doubt. You can't just play Chad, 36 minutes there. It's like Clark P., of course, a University of Kentucky graduate, Clark Pearson, the trainer following Simo into the locker room. Going to maybe retape that ankle and see what they can do with that one. Stoop Up, jumping in with us, Super Chat. The guy who's been with us every single show we've done. A good day for some light work and NCAA draining. Of course, Stoop Up, one of the legends who somewhat recently changed jobs and is out there dominating and kicking ass, as is customary, for both him and for the greater AuburnSports.com community. A lot of kick-ass folks dominating in their professional fields. Chaney J not dominating at the free throw line, but he got one. Scotty P, my man, says Kai better get some significant minutes today, particularly if Simo's out, right? It just makes sense, so I think they ought to play him. I think they will. So we've already played 8 in this game. We'd love to talk about how Auburn only plays 7, but we've already played 8, and if you get Kai and Turtle in there, that'd make it 10, and I would be happy with that. Another defensive rebound, this time for Tahad Pettiford. Did Purdue go ahead and finish off High Point? The game was tighter than I thought it would be. And then you've got McNeese and Clemson playing later. That is the McNeese's coach, Will Wade. That's his alma mater, and he just took the job to go to NC State. So he's going to be coaching McNeese, but he's going to be an NC State coach. Stoop, appreciate you, bro. Let's go ahead and get some hot, fresh stats up here to see what else we can get. What other clues and nuggets we can distill from these stat boxes. Some might say. Chuck Barkley was saying earlier, without a doubt, that he thinks Chennai is the best basketball player Auburn's ever had. And that's coming from somebody that we all, prior to probably this year, would have said it would have been him. 75-63 Purdue win over High Point. Thank you for that, Tim. I thought it was going to be a little closer than that. The way it was kind of stacking up about halfway through the second half, it looks like Purdue put them away. Probably Braden had himself a game there. And, of course, Pipe player Nick is a big Purdue fan, so we keep an eye on it. Let's see. Rebounding, Auburn's +4. I said I thought they would be comfortably ahead in that category. I also thought they would be comfortably ahead in shots taken. They're only +1 there right now. Ball control is good. 5 assists, 2 turnovers. Particularly good when you consider they had a turnover on their very first possession. So they've been pretty solid since then, as you would expect. ASU has 0 assists and 3 turnovers. So from an Auburn perspective, that is terrific. Shooting. Again, it's the name of the game so far. Miles Kelly's been essentially unconscious. I hate to say that because he does look conscious to me, but you know what I mean. He hit his first 4 shots, all of them from threes. Missed the last 2, but no big deal. Just keep shooting, Big Daddy. 6 of 12 from the floor for the Auburn Tigers and 3-11 for the Hornets. Points off turnovers, Auburn's up 5-0. Second chance opportunities is dead even 2-2. Scotty P says, classy move by Chuck, even though he's wrong. Well, I think he meant college. And I think you can definitely make that. You could make a convincing argument that as a college player that Broome is better than Barkley. No, Barkley's a complete badass when you take, NBA into account. And I don't think Chennai is going to be a great NBA player. Please get Nate Oates off my TV. That would be great. CJ says Miles unconscious bodes well. Yeah, that'd be nice. If you've got someone like that, it's just going to put up, 20 points, 25 points from three-point range and let Chennai and, Chaney or whoever else kind of go to work down low. That's you got that solved right there for this game anyway. Let's see. Chris M says Chris Porter and Wesley Person are the other 2 on the Auburn Mount Rushmore. I mean, you got to put I know he's kind of a pariah these days, but Chuck Person. Frank G says, how was college Barkley compared to NBA Barkley? I mean, he was good, but he left early, whereas obviously Chennai is not leaving early. I feel like he's like 30 years old. And Barkley definitely, his best basketball was in the NBA, probably from 84 to, I don't know, maybe 90-ish, although he was good with the Suns in the early 90s. Was kind of like the star of that show. Thank you, Bill. John Mengo. Also, definitely someone we would have to consider about being on the Mount Rushmore. He was a good one. Rex Frederick was a good one, too. You talk about back in the day. And I don't think he's going to be on the Mount Rushmore, but I just on JG's personal team, Marquise Daniels. Because I think the sum was more than the what he brought to the ball club was more than his stats at that time. And he was the reason that team clicked in 2003 and got to the, Elite Eight. He was just so versatile. Oh, they tried an alley-oop, and it was just not quite on target. CJ says, Chennai needs a statue someday. If he wins this National Player of the Year, I think that's a done deal. Particularly if they win a national title, it's... Denver trying a little Euro step action, got slapped. And CJ says that is one 5-star woman, Allie LaForce. Intriguing CJ right now. Blake R., I don't think so. He asks, would Jabari be on the Auburn Mount Rushmore of basketball? I don't think so. Fine basketball player, though. I wish he had been here a little longer than 1 year, right? Someone said they thought they spied Jakai checking in, but I have not seen him. They still got Chad Bacon Lasagna in there. Boy, you're getting a high energy Chad today. That's good. I mean, he's always like semi-high energy at least, but I mean, tonight I think you're getting the real deal here. That was really good action from ASU on that. Very quick passing out of that double screen. I think Chad got a little lost fighting through back screens. He couldn't get his way out. Boy, ASU's not shy about the double teams, are they? Let's see. Chris M says, can't have a one and done on the mountain. I think that's fair. Grind says the Chris Moore button is not a button that should be pushed in the NCAA tournament. Hey, man, someone's got to hustle. Someone's got to be a good teammate, too. Chad Bacon Lasagna. I have shorted ASU like a bunch of points here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just busy talking and babbling. You know how it goes. 22 points for the Auburn Tigers now on the strength of Chad hitting that 3 plus a free throw earlier. 22-13 is an accurate representation of the score. We got about 10 minutes to go in the first half. ASU kind of like setting up to run downhill, but they end up not doing that. They end up jump shooting. Oh, my goodness. That is ASU's second full air ball of the half. And there's Simo trying to, with a John Cohen in tow. And, of course, Clark Pearson doing his thing. Clark, a UK graduate like me. I am a UK class of 98. I believe he's class of 95, 96. What a rebound from Dylan. Nice job. Going to call a foul against ASU. There's a McDermott walking in behind Simo. There's John Cohen right behind Clark. And then a little further back is Craig McDermott, head coach of the Creighton Blue Jays. I thought that was a foul when Chaney goes to the hole and finishes right-handed. 24-13 Auburn Tigers. ASU having a difficult go of it here, getting good shot quality. Really, really struggling in these individual matchups. Dylan just absolutely stuffed his shit right there. Look at that. Nice little, that's a legal hook. Not a full hook. It's a half hook. And Chaney is just such a really good athlete. Super underrated. Probably the second fittest guy on the team. I think Dylan's the fittest guy on the team, personally. I wish Chad had hit that. Let's see. Beppo says AU grad 98 here. Glad to see that, Beppo. Guess we're about, well, I'm probably a little bit older than you just because that was my second degree. But anyway, we got Madison C in the house. There he is, Madison C. Thread has made, Tahad, has made 2 consecutive threes after a whistle. So maybe that is helping his confidence, even if it's not stoking the Tigers' score. But you know what? Chaney says, I could stoke the flames on that and get a little second chance stick back right there and get Auburn to 26-13. They're doubling them up. Auburn on a big run right now. Auburn was on a big run. ASU's about to score one right there. Oh, a second chance opportunity. Chad just a little bit late on that backside rotation. Love the passing tempo. Look at Chaney, guys. He's getting it done, bro.
He's heating up.
Chaney getting assertive. We haven't seen assertive Chaney in a while. I like it. What's he scored? 6 of their last 7 or something like that? or maybe 7 their last 8 because he hit 1 free throw plus 2 or 3 buckets here in a row. Yeah, Begos, his passes got some velocity today. They're passing with some real purpose, aren't they? I guess they're going to call Chaney with like maybe having his hand on his back because he was fine out fronting him with that. Chaney, little turnaround. Nice. I love it, man. You love it when Chaney's doing this. I feel like a stranger says Chaney is back. You love to see it. Let me get some hot, fresh stats so we can admire Chaney's line, which is growing. It can be tough to catch Miles because of the quick start that he had, but Chaney is definitely putting together a game here. There's no doubt about that. Let's kill this one and put the fresh ones up right here. Auburn still 10 of 18 from the floor. Not too shabby at all. We can make that work. They are 6 of 17, so 35% against 56%. I'll take Auburn in that one. Auburn's rebounding margin grew during that last segment. They're now +6. Still only +1 in shots attempted, which surprises me a little bit, considering that rebounding margin. Auburn's ball handling 7 assists and 3 turnovers. As long as they don't have another turnover this half, they're going to be fine. They keep it under their par for them. 2 assists and 4 turnovers for them. Auburn has 1 block and 1 steal so far. Tough to get many blocks when they're jump shooting from 28 feet. This would be a situation where maybe they make a choice about what to do with Kai, because with Simo potentially out right now with the ankle injury, this could be a situation where you want to take Chad out. He's leading the team in minutes already. Maybe switch over to Kai. Stoop Up says, a methodical performance so far in a good way. I completely agree with you. We haven't necessarily seen Auburn play this way lately. Knox C in the house. What's up, man? He says, War Eagle. Appreciate you being here with us, G. Let's see. Mr. R says, only need 20 more of you, Broom. Only 20 more out of you, Broom. Worried they sit the starters if this gets out of hand. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'd like to see some Blake and Presley Patterson get some buckets in here. That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be something they'd always remember. Rob says he loves Chaney. No judgment, bro. I think everybody does. Are they bringing Kai in? This would be a good opportunity to do it if you're going to do it. I'm not seeing anything official on changes for the lineup here, but I think they're going to take Chad out just because he's been in there for he's leading the team with minutes right now. There's no reason to burn him out. Stupid says ASU is not bad. They're decent. Definitely quick. Definitely play with spirit. And if they can hit some shots, they are a dangerous team. Because they definitely are not, they're not scared. Hey, they just hit one right there. BP hates giving up threes like that coming out of a timeout. 28-18. Denver with a rare bounce in the ball off his shoe. We got the ninth player in, which is Sir Turtle, I should say, number 8. I think he missed 2 opportunities there at the bucket, and ASU goes length of the court to get another bucket there. A pretty straightforward bucket, honestly. Might be their easiest bucket of the day. Still no Kai. They're still going with Chadley playing at wing right now. Just got a great offensive rebound. Was fouled getting it, too. I really think this is a mistake to leave Chad in there right now. There's no reason for him to play 30 minutes in this game. Wait, Madison says, Allie's first name ends with an I. Just saying, is that even true? I thought it was A-L-L-I-E. Are you saying maybe CBS is getting it wrong? And she's not a redhead and she's not a hairdresser, so Janai missed the front end of a 1-and-1 too. That's tough. ASU with a decent looking shot there, going wire to wire. Oh, I thought they were going to try to ISO turtle there. He passed out of it. Trying like middle Auburn's the paradigm that I've been watching with Auburn has just been kind of like middle screens. Oh, ASU with another nice finish right there. I mean, decent quality look. Janai seemed a little passive about it. And ASU's on a 7-0 run now after Auburn's gone on a couple of long runs. Well, the passing tempo is hot right now, isn't it? Oh, Janai was getting triple teamed and didn't get the ball out quickly enough. I think that's going to be a 2 if it goes. TJ Matlock with a rebound there for ASU. Boy, another offensive rebound, this time for 35. Reminds me of Peyton, what's his name, from Kell High School. Ended up going to Missouri, I think. Was committed to Auburn at one time. And it looks like BP called a timeout. BP forced to call a timeout there. Solo Tigre said, "This is stupid. Settle down." I kind of agree with you on that. This is silly. Guys, I might have to take a break here for just a second to get. I got to get a. Yeah, I'm going to take it right now. In fact, I'm having like an allergic reaction in my eye. I got to go take a pill real quick. Just give me like 30 seconds. I'm just going to go get it. I'll bring you right back up. All right. Sorry about that, guys. My bad. I do have headset hair. I was working on graphics before the show, so I've had headset on for a while. All right, there we go. Tim a little bummed about just Auburn's play in the last, let's say, 90 seconds. Not very good. Bo says, herpes of the eyes. Jay has been looking for love in all the wrong places. Or as Bucket would sing, Wookin' Panub. Wookin' Panub in all the wrong places. Wookin' Panub. It's a joke from Saturday Night Live, 1985. It's all good. Beppo says, JG's fed up. Walk the F out. GW says, leadership of the team is poop. Poop. Man. I want the gold. Give me the gold. Who else see the leprechaun say yeah? That was big. We just had St. Patty's Day. The Mobile, well, technically the Creighton leprechaun. CJ says that's buckwheat. It absolutely is. Eddie Murphy is buckwheat. What was the other song he used to sing? Feet times a matey. That's what it was. There he is, Coach Randall Dickey behind him. Also, Tony Barbie, one of the best coach golfers in the game. All right, 24-28. Auburn comes right out of the timeout. Whoa, buddy, I bet that. Oh, God, if I did that right there, I literally wouldn't walk for 2 days. He landed face down with the ball on his hip, like underneath his hip. Oh, my God. Oh, Chip says I had my amateur sketch. I have one of those too. This amateur sketch shows what many of you say the leprechaun looks like. Probably the best TV segment of all time. I mean, all things. I mean, Sweet Brown is probably maybe the best interview of all time. Oh, my God. That was an ambitious attempt from Dylan Cardwell. Cap going for the full poster right there. I don't know what he's doing. Is he just taking a break and thinking about it? He did the right thing. He turned his body towards Janai to keep open the possibility that he could pass that ball. Made a decision to go for it, and 11 fouled him, but not unreasonably so. And I think Dylan's just kind of like, damn, that kind of hurt a little bit. But he said he's okay. There it is. Andy knows, Anonymous, knows. It's Taz. Feet times a maiden. Oh, man, good old days. I don't know if you guys remember. You guys are probably too young for that, but when Saturday Night Live was 85-ish, they had, I mean, it was a great, great group. Billy Crystal, Christopher Guest, Eddie Murphy, Joe Piscopo, who was big at the time. They had a great group there, and they were still bitching at the time about how this isn't as good as the Bill Murray and the John Belushi and all those days. So pardon me if I don't always think that it's always going downhill with the handbasket, 29-24 after another miss from Dylan, although he hit one, so that's good. Dylan, I don't think there's anyone on the team that shoots more free throws in practice or after practice or before practice than Dylan. And he still can't get to 50%. That's just the way it's going to go. Okra says, wow, we looked flat. They did not look flat for a long time. And oh, wow, ASU, nice shot there. Auburn came out of this game and absolutely smoking with Miles Kelly. Hit his first four attempts from long range and had Auburn up double not too long ago, maybe 5 game minutes ago. And then Auburn just kind of, I don't know, a little combination of Auburn slowing down. It was just bad defense there. Auburn slowing down a little bit, and ASU heating up a little bit, and now it's tightened up. Frank G says he's seeing more opportunity or more effort, I should say, from ASU to find the right shot, the quality. The ASU shot quality's definitely gotten a little bit better. There's no doubt about that. So let's go ahead and get a look at some of the hotter and fresher stats. Yeah, what's up, Okra? They're actually playing really good basketball early on, Auburn was. And I don't necessarily think they're playing poorly right now. They just, I don't know, I haven't felt like the extra effort's not there. I think Auburn's content to shoot okay shots, and they're not hitting them. And they're content to give up okay shots, and ASU is hitting them. I'd like to see a little bit better effort, particularly on the defensive end, to keep ASU shooting, C or D or F type shots, which is what they were taking earlier in the game. We're not seeing that as much now. Auburn now shooting 10 of 24 from the floor, which is a big step down from where they were earlier. And ASU at 44%, which is just a little bit better than they were shooting earlier. Rebounding margin has narrowed a little bit. Auburn was up, I think, 6 earlier. Now they're up 2. And I was as sure as I could be that Auburn would end up in a double-digit advantage in shots attempted, but right now they're -1. 7 assists and 5 turnovers is what you would expect playing a team like Tennessee, not ASU. ASU having some difficulty on their end, but that's not really – I haven't watched a lot of ASU. But having watched them in the FCFU game 2 nights ago and then watched them today, I think they're more of a jump shooting team, more of an individual ISO type situation. So you're not going to get a ton of assists per bucket. So they're probably about doing their thing. For ASU to have 4 steals on Auburn right now is not great. So, and Janai has a backward assist to turnover ratio, which is very unusual for him. 1 assist and 2 turnovers. Runner 24 notes that Auburn is 1 of 11 from 3 since Kilometer Kelly's first little barrage there where he hit his first 4 shots from 3. Auburn as a team is 1 of 11 since then. Ravin says, if we run through Janai, guards cannot bring their defender to double. These guys are definitely doubling the shit out of him today. That is when they strip Janai when he turns his head. Brandon says that just embarrassing. Are you guys? I feel like I'm missing something here. Why is everybody freaking? I mean, they'll pop it back. Renard says not sharp at all. Focus has regressed and it shows. Now that's fair, but let's pull it back. Pull it back. Get on an 8-0 run. And you're back going good again. I'd still like to see Kai Howard. I don't understand. Let's see, 13 minutes for Chad Bacon lasagna. We do not have... No, we do have Kai in there right now, don't we? I think he's the baseline rebounder right now, number 3. No, that is definitely not right. It was Chaney. Man, who messes up Kai and Chaney, Jay? All right, another missed shot. So what they'll do is they'll just put, Miles Kelly's going to play de facto wing is what they'll do here and just shift everybody down one. Boy, Keith G, hold on there, buddy. This is so embarrassing. 32-point favorite. Cassidy P says, anyone else at work and unable to process their feelings? That's another massive air ball by ASU. At least he hit like a little bit of the net that time. But that's what I would consider to be the third major air ball of the game for ASU. And that'll happen with them because they take some pretty low percentage shots. Whoa, buddy, you can't do that. Kevin, what are you doing, bro? You can't be doing that. You can't be spamming the chat like that. We're not doing that. Felix Stranger thinks it would be an idea to feed Chaney in the paint. And a solo Tigre, I've already smacked him to the sun, brother. And the bot is gone, CJ. He gone bye-bye. Let's see. Terrence says Bruce Pearl is good at getting his team to gel quickly, but they always peak too early, allowing for teams to scout and scheme against them effectively. Interesting. And Anonymous says Kevin equals a male Karen. Tahad Pettiford at the line here to give potentially Auburn a little bit more of a lead. Hit the first one, missed the second one. Coach Ian Borders sitting there next to Chad Bacon Lasagna. ASU with a 3. Not a high-quality shot, in my opinion. A little hard there for Tahad. A little too much juice on that shot. But he got fouled. I am liking Auburn going to the hole, though. This is something that we've talked about before. In situations where maybe you feel like you're not shooting the ball particularly well, why not push tempo and force them to foul you if you're going to go to the rack? It's a thing that Auburn doesn't do very often. We'd like to see it. We feel like, Miles can get some separation, get downhill. Tahad can certainly do that. And I think it's a good way to keep things going, keep yourself afloat when maybe you're not shooting the ball particularly well for whatever reason. I think Tahad is a good guy to have, doing that. Hits 2 that time. Gets Auburn up to 32. Simo over there on the bike. Trying to stay loose. Dr. Goodlet stopped by to see how he was doing. That's going to be a left ankle for Simo. Nice deflection there by Miles Kelly. For those of you who didn't tune in until a little bit late, Simo landed on a ASU player's foot and rolled his left ankle over pretty good. And he knew right away he needed to come out of the game. I think he's right on that level where he could play, but I think it hurts. So we thought that maybe they would play Kai Howard in that spot when they need. Oh, God, that was another bad air ball. That's 4 now. 4 major air balls for ASU in this game. Auburn's passing tempo is definitely heating up. A great pass from Janai to Tahad, and he just lost it. I don't know what to tell you. That's not on Janai at all. Might have come in a little hot. But you guys still got to catch it. 29 points for the ASU Hornets. I think I would just drive downhill on them. I would not have Janai taking threes. That is not the solution to that problem. It's not. The solution to a problem is never Janai taking threes. If they're already ahead and they're looking for ways to maybe, push it when you're already ahead, that's fine. But that is no way to try to come back in a game. They're not actually coming back, but you know what I mean. Try to establish some momentum. It's not going to be Janai shooting threes. So you got Chad out and Janai out. Still not going to Kai Howard. You've got Tahad playing 1, Denver playing 2, and Miles Kelly slid down to wing to give Chad Bacon-Lasagna a little bit of a breather. But Auburn is not picking up these drives, which is nothing new. This is an old problem that really reared its head against Florida back in, late January, where they play 5 out and just drive downhill. Now Denver just got his shit packed in right there. ASU in transition again. They're going to call a foul on Chaney. God, man, I know what you're saying. He says that this team's on a slump right now, playing so great. The first, 7 or 8 minutes of the game, and it's just been really just big lapses since then. I don't necessarily think ASU's playing well. They're shooting better. I don't think they've come out in a triangle and 2 or anything on defense to just flummox Auburn. I just think what happens with Auburn is I don't think Auburn's good at changing speeds in a game. They're either going balls to the wall or they're just dicking around, and it seems like they kind of stay in the same gear. Or they can gear down, they can't really gear up. Does that make sense? Brandon J thinks Auburn has 0 leadership. And I do think Maine, you're saying ASU's playing harder. I think of them as a team that plays really hard anyway. So, yeah, they're doing what they do. Janai gets Auburn a little bit of push there with a and one opportunity here. I got that ball a little bit lower than I think he probably would have wanted because he was technically behind the basket on that. But he was able to get up quickly enough and reestablish presence in front of the basket, and that was an easy one for him. 35's got to know that Janai's 80 to 90% from that spot right there. Of course, he's not 80 to 90% from the free throw line. That's for damn sure. Oh, what a save. Hit that. Oh. Denver Jones making that happen right there with some Houdini shit to get the ball out to Miles, and then he consummated that with a 3-point splash city. Great play from Denver right there. Absolutely edge. ASU continuing to stay with this 5-out concept. There's another massive air ball. Is that 6? Watch Denver right here get this ball. He's waiting. He dives on it, and then zip. Oh, what a play, man. All right, so you got 39 seconds left, 9-second differential. And so Auburn just, pay attention here. Get yourself a deuce, and then you go in with a decent lead. It's not the kind of lead that you would wanted. Janai with a second chance opportunity, man.
He's heating up.
I love second chance opportunities. I'm not going to lie about it. It's one of my favorite things about basketball. We have a bot back. I got him. No problem. Didn't see him that time. Sorry, guys. I was checking the stats on that. 39-31 is where we're at. We got about 20 seconds left in the half. Austin P says, JG, what can we do to get hot again? Seems like ever since Kentucky, we just play with no urgency. See, I thought they were playing great earlier. I thought in this game, Auburn was playing great. Now, as far as a half, if you take it all in consideration, I understand where you're coming from, but I thought they opened this game great. I mean, Miles Kelly in particular, and then you kind of switched it over to Chaney had a nice little run there, like a personal 7-0 run. And they're up, 28-15 or something like that. And I'm like, all right, cool. Got it. No problem. And then there's Marlene, Auburn's basketball publicist there, sitting on the end of the bench. Of course, Aubie, the legend himself. Letitia right there, who's been working with the dance teams and cheerleaders for years and years and years. A legend in her own right. There's Ira Bowman talking to Coach Janai Broom. And there's Philip Marshall and Nate King. And who is that sitting right? I don't know who that is next to Nate. And those are the buttons that they're wearing in honor of Greg Gumbel, who passed away. And it's not going to be part of March Madness this year, which just sucks. I mean, for me, growing up, I'm 52 years old. Greg Gumbel's his voice is synonymous with March Madness. As good a presenter as there's ever been, in my opinion. Maine says the biggest story for me is Tahad's shooting is awful during the past 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, it was really interesting, right? Early on, let's say the first half of the season, he shot a lot better than I would have expected because I thought of him as a slasher coming in. And then the shooting's definitely cooled off, and I think he's more of a slasher now, but I don't necessarily know that he's realizing that, right? He's still taking shots as if he's about to get on a heater, and I'm not sure that's, the right way to do it. Auburn has done a pretty good job of rebounding on the defensive end, and they're going to have a chance here to get this up to a 10-point lead. Yes, Tahad with a little Miles Simon floater right there. And Auburn's going to go in with a 10-point lead. I mean, it's kind of odd how it went down, right? Auburn was up big, and it was almost even, and then Auburn pushed it out again in the last 90 seconds. But Tim Taco wants to know, is the game not on Auburn Network? I don't think they're allowed to do that. I think that once you get to the NCAA tournament, Westwood 1/Turner/CBS have the complete control and command of all the radio. So I don't think they can. But I'm not an expert on these things. I just remember that being the case in the past. D. Lucky says he is not impressed with the effort and the free throw shooting. Interesting. All right, so what I'm going to do here is get these halftime stats up for you. Auburn with a nice, I guess you call it a comeback. I would say nice surge to close out the half and to get this back up to double digits in a game that, in my opinion, should be, 20 to 25 point lead. But Auburn basically took a nap there around the 9-minute mark until about the 2-minute mark and just didn't seem to really pay much attention to what was going on and lost a lot of ground. Here are the full stats for halftime, or through halftime, I should say. The Auburn Tigers 44% shooting from the floor, whereas ASU's 41%. 6 of 19 from three. I think it was N that was saying this in the chat earlier. Just too many threes. Oh, Travis J jumped in. Hey, man, actually, I thought about this, bro. He jumps in with a super chat here. Stop using our size. I don't know why. Hit. We need to unleash Ja'Kai, basically. Travis, I'm supposed to have a soundbite for you. And I told you I was going to do Working Man by Rush. And when I cut it, I just think it might be too long that I'm going to get slapped with a copyright violation for it. So I'm going to have to figure out some alternative. But Travis J is our working man, and we're glad to have him here on the super chat and just being in the chat. So appreciate that, my man. And I would love to see Ja'Kai play at least a little bit. I think this is a good opportunity for him, too, particularly if Simo's ankle cools down during this break and, tightens up a little bit. Why not, man? I don't think you don't have to stay just using Chad Bacon lasagna and sliding Miles over to small forward. I think you can play Kai. I'd like to see it. Some other things that stand out statistically: Auburn 9 assists on 14 buckets, not too bad. 6 turnovers to me is too many. Auburn averages 7 or 8 per game, and I did not expect them to have turnover problems against Alabama State. 1 block surprises me a little bit. I thought they would have had more, Auburn. But ASU, think about it. Their shots were from 3-point range, which were tough to block, and in transition, which are tougher to block as well. Yeah, Rob, I'm totally on board. I just think it's worth as my friend Brad Laronda would say, I think the juice is worth the squeeze. I mean, I do. You're not thrusting him into a main role and saying save us. We're thrusting him into the 8th man role in a situation where the 7th man is hurt. Now, I think they have concerns about his defense and stuff, but I've got concerns about Simo in pretty much every aspect. So, and particularly now with his ankle injured, I'd have a lot of concerns about him. Jared, who are you talking to, bro? So I thought you were like 38. I don't know. Are you talking to? Sorry, I missed that one, G. I try to keep up with the chat as much as I can, but sometimes I miss stuff. Other things that interest me, Auburn, is 50% from the line, which is absolutely atrocious. And I'm so impressed they finally get to the line enough, and then they don't hit. 7 of 14. They took 14 attempts at the free throw line that half. That's great. We've been calling for this all year. And they've done it some. They've had a few games, but when they go to the line enough. And then they go 7 of 14. Daniel P says, just getting home from work. What the heck happened? So Auburn started off great. Miles Kelly hit 4 of his first 4. That would be 100%, by the way, according to Tycho Brahe, who's our correspondent. And they got up 10 quickly. They got up 15 quickly. They were actually doubling them up at one point. I think it was 28-14, something like that. And I thought, here we go. And then Auburn just backed off and got passive on offense and let ASU's shot quality go from really bad to just okay. That's a big step up for ASU, and they hit some shots. And then they started taking advantage of Auburn in transition a little bit, and next thing you know, it goes from a 14-point lead to like 2 or 1, something like that. And then with about 2 minutes to go in the half, Auburn kind of, got its eyes wide open and started playing better basketball. So Auburn went on a little bit of a run to close the half and got up 10. But, in general, if you want my opinion, it's that they just weren't paying attention. They got up and they thought this was going to be really easy. And ASU will continue to fight you. They're not scared. They are not scared at all. They don't give a damn that you got Auburn on your chest. And I don't think Auburn has that kind of cachet anyway. Auburn's a really good program, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they have the kind of cachet yet on the national scene where you just roll in there and people are worried about playing you. The way Duke does, the way Kansas does. Kentucky's probably fallen out of that land, but you know how it is. It might even be like playing Gonzaga these days, even though Gonzaga's not what it was. It's still, it's Gonzaga, it's Chet Holmgren, it's Drew Timme, it's all these cats. Andrew Nembhard, Jalen Suggs. Ed D says free throw shooting is going to bite this team at some point. They usually shoot okay, but you're right. Today has just been awful. It's just not been good enough, and it's just it's the same basic thing here. I mean, look, guy, the things that I'm seeing in this game are similar to what we've been seeing since the Florida game, right? People trying to drive Auburn downhill, and ASU's had some success doing that, and Auburn mentally just kind of in and out of games. Like they'll play great and then they just throttle down inexplicably. And then usually they'll pick it up, but sometimes they don't. And it's just mentally, guys, I mean, Denver's played a lot of basketball. Miles has played a lot of basketball. Janai's played forever. Chad Beck and Lasagna's played forever. These guys they're vets. They should have more consistency, I think. And I think Auburn, just in a general sense, should be a more consistent operation than it is. Now, it used to be 6 weeks ago. But something's happened ever since it seemed like when Janai got hurt, and even after he came back, it got a little passe, a little passive. God, I'm going to ban these people into the sun. Goober. Oh, we have a Chuck Barkley animation now. Looks like that, like those Xbox avatars from like 15 years ago. GW said Barkley just said it best. You can't just show up and win. Now, Auburn did show up playing. Okay, let's not forget that part. Auburn played great the first 8 minutes of this game. Absolutely bringing it. Had a big rebounding margin. Had a big scoring margin, and then they just kind of throttled down. By the way, a couple things that I predicted in this game. I said Auburn would have a pretty big rebounding margin, and it actually did take off a little bit there late in the half. So they're +7 in rebounding right now, which if they were to end up +14, that would definitely count as a significant rebounding margin. However, I felt even more strongly that Auburn would have a big advantage in shots attempted, and at this point, it's a wash. 32 shots each, and that really surprises me. Points off turnovers are even at 8. Second chance points are plus Auburn 5 for Auburn, but it should be more than that. Auburn's got 9 offensive rebounds and just not enough second chance points in relation to that. Bench points is 14-5. Remember, Auburn got outbenched big time in the Tennessee game. Not having that happen today. Of course, it helps that Tahad is not going over from the floor, which he did against Tennessee, so that is good. Travis J notes that Chuck is the best ambassador for Auburn. He is. He's great. Huge plus. And now Kirsty Coventry, the former Auburn Tiger, swimming great from Zimbabwe, is now the International Olympic Committee president. Can you believe that? I mean, I kind of knew Kirsty. Like, I interviewed her like 10 times. She let me wear her gold medal. Of course, she let a lot of people wear her gold medal. She's cool like that. But Ephesians says, what's your message to the team if you're a BP right now, Jay? It's similar to what you guys are saying. You can't walk out there and think these people are going to lay down for you. And I don't give a shit if it's ASU, if it's Tuskegee, if it's West Georgia, or if it's UCLA. Nobody's going to lay down for you. It's March Madness. Everybody's playing for their life. So get your ass out there and play harder and keep your head straight. Brad says -9 for Turtle is tough when your team is up 10. He wasn't even in there very long. He was in there for 2 minutes, around the 6-minute mark. So he was in there right in the middle of it falling apart. I don't know that it was his fault, his problem. Wow, going through everybody's wrecked brackets from last year. I like that. Hayden, my man, jumps in with a super chat. What a legend. We love this guy. He says, need better energy, need better focus, quoting John Gruden, the man himself, who was shown on social media this week wearing some Raiders stuff. We like seeing that. I don't got no problem with him. Ed D notes that Alabama State, correctly, I should say Ed notes, Alabama State won a championship too. That's a great point. That might be something that I talked to the team about as well. So, hey, man, you're not the only team on the court that won a championship this year. You better get your shit together. He picked Louisville in this game. Ha ha. Boy, somebody else did his bracket, didn't they? I was like, he has nice handwriting, and now you see him actually writing it. It's not very good. By the way, I had Creighton beating Louisville on all my brackets, so I got that one right. And I got 3 of the first 4 right. I missed San Diego State, but I think I let my emotions take hand there because I like San Diego State. Rob reminds everyone to smash that like button. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for the reminder there. AU256 said, just hopped on. Are we panicking, fam? I think that last little 90, Arizona in the semifinals. Is he serious? Arizona? I respect Florida. By the way, I had St. John's winning the national championship, but Arizona, I don't know. They're not hardly any good. Long story short, 256, we got about half the people freaking out, and the other half are, 50% freaking out, 25% PTSD, and then 25% are with me where it's like, we'll see what happens. I'm not worried at all. I still got Auburn as 100% winning this game. Daniel P says, I'm always panicking, 256. I'm a bunker faithful. That's right. I don't get the joke about Duke. Not Duke, but Durham. It's because Kenny went to UNC. That's what it is. What's he going? Maryland and Missouri in the Sweet 16? Wow. Maryland, Maryland beating St. John's. I don't buy it. UNC? Come on, bro. I know where you're going with this. It's because he's a North Carolina guy. Oh, wow. Mr. Ars has got Arizona bouncing puke back home in the round of 16. Can't wait. I'm so glad to have another Duke hater in the chat with me. And also, he hated Louisville, too, so we've got that in common. It was great having you around. Small victories. My man is here. What's up, Drainers? Just left work. What in the world has been happening? Auburn started great. Auburn, as you've seen many times this year, small victories just got a little lax. And ASU was more than willing to start taking shots and hitting shots and getting back in the game. And then Auburn made a nice push during the last 2 minutes or so to get it back out to 10. So it's kind of up and down as it's been here lately. There he is, Gators. I'm sorry for the recent threads, JGT. I know it's been difficult. Now that I drive a Tesla, I've got you raising hell about Tesla. After all that time, I thought when I'd got a Tesla, we could have been brothers in arms. At least me and your wife could have been, because she's the one who drives the Tesla, not you. However, now you're anti-Tesla, and that's sad. I actually got a warning from one of my friends today that said it's going to be a rough road when people start really protesting these Tesla cars. I'm like, bro, if somebody paints a swastika on my car, I'll be really pissed. Well, I mean, what are you proving? I'm not the one doing anything. I'm just driving my car, yo. Small Victory says, just typical streaking. Yes, you know what I mean. It's been like this for I don't know, a month maybe. It's been like this for a month. Robbie says Duke haters should be plentiful. I know, right? Blake says I'm anti-Tesla. Okay. I mean, it's just a car, bro. I still love you, and I hope you still love me. I spent 2 years kind of getting ready to buy a Tesla, and then I finally buy one, and everybody starts hating Tesla right around the time I buy one. AU256 says, what about McNeese and Clemson right now? I've not seen an update on that one, but that's a very interesting game. Will Wade, who has the pottiest mouth I've ever pottied before, is the coach of McNeese, and he's playing his alma mater. And McNeese is up 25-11 late in the first half. How about that? I got no love for Clemson. I don't think they're very good. That's like when people are like, Louisville's going to be really good in the tournament. I'm like, the only people they've beaten in the whole field is Clemson twice, and Clemson's ass, and North Carolina, and they're also ass. Travis J says Tesla lived long enough to become the villain. That's right. That's a good way to put it. Yabo says I drive an F-150 and no one gives me crap about it, nor should they. I like an F-150. My granddad Tate spent his whole life driving an F-150. And they make that Lightning truck, which is really badass too. I'll never drive a gas car again, but it may not be a Tesla. And probably if I had it to do over again, I wouldn't do Tesla. Although I've had a good experience in my car, I would just probably drive a Rivian. That's probably what I would do. But I appreciate you, Gators. You're good on the board, and I appreciate everything you bring. And Blake says, of course I love you, JGT. I appreciate you. You're a freaking badass. Can't wait to hang out with you in person one of these days. Let's see. FJ asks, JGT, does Auburn practice getting rebounds, you think? Too many times players are standing flat-footed while the other team is going out of their way to get the rebound. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you practice rebounding as much, maybe. I mean, there are rebounding drills. It's not something I see Auburn do in practice too much. But they do like full speed stuff where rebounding is part of it. I think what happens is it seems like literally every team that they're playing right now is playing 5 out. And that means you end up having to box out in space all the time. And it's a different skill. I don't know. It's harder to get a body up when you're playing 5 out and you're not in a phone booth anymore. Does that make sense? I just think it's harder to get rebounds. And I think that's part of the problem, personally. Let's see some other small victories picked. Creighton, attaboy. You're a smart one. Daniel P says R1T goes hard. I would take an R1T or an R1S. I like Rivian. I'm a fan. They're made in Illinois, I believe. Neil J jumps in with another super chat. My man. Says the only stat that actually counts today Happy birthday to J-Dub. Come on, do we have a soundbite for that? I think we do. Yeah, we do. And also one of these. I don't know if J-Dub is on the chat today because it's a pretty busy time of year for my man. But, yeah, definitely happy birthday to J-Dub, who's on the chat sometimes. He super chatted in our last show, and he's an absolute stud. I've partied with J-Dub many times. Me and Neil and J-Dub tore the shit up in Mexico like 2 years ago. Legend for sure. Let's see. Mr. R says, is Broom going to hit 23 today? I'm saying 20. Now, GW, you're right about that. Against 5 out, you just got to move your ass to rebound and not be a statue. Yeah, I think you're right. And I think they need to do a better job at that. I think it's a challenge for anybody that's trying to do that, but Auburn needs to get that done. Grind says Houston has a whole segment of practice dedicated to rebounds. Their coach will put a lid on the goal so no shots can go in. Genius, IMO. Auburn. I've never seen Auburn do that. Normally I think of Auburn as a pretty good rebounding team. Not a great rebounding team, but a good enough. And they're really good at other stuff. So maybe I don't know. Daniel P says they are made in Normal, Illinois. Talk about Rivian's. A really good friend of mine works at Rivian. They're working on development of the R2T and the R2S, which I think everybody's really looking forward to. I wish I could. Here's what I really wish I could do, Daniel. I do like my Model 3 a lot, Tesla, despite the negative connotations associated with the guy who runs Tesla. But I wish that I could get like an older Rivian as like a third car and just kind of play with it, like where I don't have to rely on it. I can just enjoy it for what it is. But they're still just very expensive. They're still probably, to get an R1S that's 2 years old, is probably still $55,000. That's a lot for a third car. And I ran something similar like that by administrative assistant, and she was like, you need to put in a sentence or a paragraph about why we need to do that. And if you can convince me of that through an argument like that, through a reasoned argument, I'm open to it. But if you're just going to come up to me and tell me, hey, man, let's just get a Rivian for shits and gigs. Nope. She's going to swap me like Mamadou Njai on Charlton Barker. There's Nate King, top right there with his bag of chips and his 247 shirt on. CJ says Rivians, from what I hear, are amazing. I'd love to have one. Just a little bit expensive. Cassidy P says, I just got back from a meeting. Are we winning yet? So much winning, bro. Hey, they're up 10. Let's see. Tim the Toolman Taylor. This is a very interesting take. BYD. I guess you live in Australia. BYD greater than Rivian, greater than Tesla. BYD, of course, everything I know about it, really interesting car company from China. Or I should say China. But they're not allowed. Well, I guess they are allowed. They're tariffed to death in the United States, and so they don't even compete in this market. But they do some good stuff, too. Anyway, second half is underway now as the Auburn Tigers try to maybe reclaim some inertia in this game, some momentum. And they start off with a Janai Broom 80%er, and he missed. And it really wasn't that close. Kind of short-rimmed that one. Oh, Chad got absolutely worked on that one. Jeez, little hesitation move. And Chad got caught napping on that one a little bit. So 33-41, ASU gets the first bucket of the half. Also, for those of you who maybe didn't go to Auburn or whatever, ASU and Auburn are very close to nearby each other. Alabama State is in Montgomery, Alabama. Auburn is in Auburn, Alabama. They're connected by Interstate 85, and they're about 53 miles apart. We'll also have Troy in the tournament. I think they play Kentucky tomorrow. And Troy is about 40 miles from ASU. Maybe 60 miles from Auburn as the crow flies. Super chat coming through from Kanuman, who I know. He's like Carmen Sandiego. He's always somewhere else in the world. He is in Lexington, I believe, right now. Second half, let's do this. Smash the like button. Please, we need more likes. This game picking up some pace here. Auburn playing a little bit of defense at the rim there with Dylan Cardwell. That's got to be a foul. Come on now. Trying to accost Chad Bacon Lasagna there. Thank you, Kanuman, for pushing the community to give a few more likes. That would be amazing if you guys would do that. Let's see. Frank says, did we do nothing to counter them doubling Janai and poking the ball? It does seem like that happens too often. And Daniel thinks they're oblivious to the quick, like the double teams and then the pokes. Yeah. Oh, he's not going to be immune to that one. That's a dunk city right there. Boom.
Boom shakalaka.
Great tempo, man. Passing tempo, I think, is the path to greatness for Auburn. When they were playing their best basketball this season, which would have been in December and January, it was the quick tempo passing. They've got the guys. Everybody can pass. Everybody has the experience to pass quickly. And when they pass like that, defenses have a really hard time remaining in position. Dylan with a little bit of defense right there. He said, just y'all say we don't play defense? I play defense. Tahad with a step back. Oh, goodness gracious. Holy shit. Splash. He got the Miles Kelly bank shot +1. Wow. A splash and a 1. I like Corey tapping on Stephen Pearl's knee right there. I almost like Stephen to like call that or something. I don't know. Patrick B says you should be safe in Alabama, JG. Yeah, I think you're right. I feel pretty good about it. Plus my car's garaged. But the text I got earlier about we better be careful was from a guy in Huntsville. But I mean, Huntsville might be a little different. I don't know. That's going to be on the floor. Let's see what kind of action they're showing here. Janai kind of setting up for like a flex maybe. It was kind of setting up for a flex cut, and then he didn't even have to make it because they didn't pay any attention to him. Well, I would give this. Auburn is fighting for rebounds. I mean, they're fighting. They didn't get that one, but I mean, Denver Jones was trying. He was putting in unusual effort to get that board. 47-36. That was not a great choice from Tahad right there. I feel like Auburn gets 2 or 3 turnovers. I shouldn't say gives away 2 or 3 turnovers a game from like what I would call lazy passes at the point. It's almost like a lazy DHO. They're just expecting to be there. I don't know. Oh, hit that one, Miles. Hit that one. Oh, God, he hit the side of the backboard on a shot that was open. Yowzers. There you go. Janai still playing, though. Got to get rebounds. You got to limit them to 1 shot. I don't think they can win this game with 1 shots. Because for them, usually their first shot is not a good shot or it's just okay, and they get second chance opportunities. Oh, Splash City from Denver. Cheney don't ever do that again, Cheney, please. He's doing like the water dance. I don't know what's the river dance. Don't do that. Don't do that. 50-36. Auburn's getting a little push here. Tahad had that 3, and then Denver comes back 2 possessions later with another 3. All right, Mr. R is going back to Paramount. Peace out, bro. Glad to have you here. Brent M says, nice ball movement. When Auburn plays well, there's good ball movement almost every time. Dylan's wide open. So is Denver, though. That's an example of Janai getting the ball out quickly on that turnover, on that double. And we talked about that earlier. If he would get the ball out a little quicker against the double teams, I think it would be a great opportunity to reverse the ball and hit something big on the other side. In that situation, it was Denver for the 3, but he also could have tap passed that ball to Dillon for a dunk. So it's really just passing tempo that's the difference. Grind says, so I stopped watching the game, go brain drain stream only, and the squad decides to pick it up. Well, it looks like I'm stuck here, LOL. Whatever it takes, man. It's only weird when it doesn't work, you know what I mean? ASU just missed 2 free throws on that possession. There's Marquise Daniels and Coach Ian Borders. So here's an opportunity. Technically, Auburn got a stop on that. Be a nice chance to get another 3 and put that foot on the throat a little bit. There's my man Pipe. We were talking about Purdue earlier. Had a nice finish to their game to put away High Point, get a nice win. And McNeese State, who I picked in all my brackets to beat Clemson, is up 31-13. Interesting. And talking about how aggressively Bama State is double teaming Janai, which I think is smart. But generally, Janai is someone who can handle the passing out of a double team very assuredly and quickly. Not quite as assuredly today as we have seen in the past, although he's identifying it pretty quickly. He had the ball tipped out a couple times there in the first half, but we haven't seen it yet in the second half. Again, we're only one segment in, so maybe it's a small sample size. But all right, here are the hot fresh stats. Oh shoot, I got you the wrong stats, didn't I? That's my fault. Let me work on that just real quick. You guys know I like to do a second half box score for the first 3 segments of the half. So I'll go ahead and populate those numbers for you. Gosh dang it. What a rookie move, JG. What are you doing, bro? Yeah, where have you been, Pipe? We've been texting you this morning. I was trying to give you like the nudge to tell J-Dub, happy birthday, and you didn't even answer. Guess you were just Purdueing it, huh? You and a tuna can. All right, so this is the box score for just the second half, so you can kind of see what's been going on since halftime since halftime ended, I should say. 9 points for the Auburn Tigers on 3 of 6 shooting. We'll take that all day. 2 assists, 1 turnover. I don't got a problem with that. ASU 2 of 7 shooting, 1 assist, 0 turnover, whatever. It's still early. Rebounding margin is +1 to Auburn, so I guess that's fine. It's better than -1, but I would still like to see Auburn do a better job rebounding the basketball. There's someone asking about Jakai on here. So I think the answers here are Jakai. There he is. Anthony R. says, I want to see Jakai. If he doesn't play in this tournament, he's hitting the portal. I think he's hitting it regardless. I definitely think he's talented, and I think he's going to go somewhere else and play some good basketball. But it may be a situation where he just needs to get a change of scenery. All right, back to the Auburn game. Tahad Pettiford doing his thing. Oh,
He's heating up.
What a nice drive and finish for Tahad in traffic. Doing some patented Tahad moves where he goes up and under. I don't know how he doesn't get that ball hit and stuffed more often, but he doesn't. I think if I asked Samir Dowdy that question, he'd say because he played on the playground. When I would ask Samir Dowdy questions about how he did stuff like that, that's what he'd always say. I got my shit packed in on the playground, and I learned how to not get it done. We'll have to keep an eye on the passing tempo. Burgo is telling them what to do here, by the way. Burgo, much more assertive this year from a strategic standpoint. Oh, he's wide open. That's a good shot for Tahad. He missed it, but it was a really high-quality shot. And a great pass back out from Chaney in the two-man game. Nice rebound for Dillon. Dillon playing Joe Montana there. That's a foul. Oh, Denver. I'm sorry, Chaney missed, but Denver got the 2-point putback and the extra opportunity.
Boom shakalaka.
He's going to have an and one on this bad boy, and great effort by him. Nice, strong finish. You don't necessarily think of Denver being a strong finisher at the rim, but he did it right there. Let's see, Yabo is hot, heating up. Yeah, definitely not from 3, but he is playing better from 2. There's Burgo and Maddox right there, and flanking BP on the bench. Mike Burgermaster, Auburn's director of recruiting, I believe, and also offensive coordinator. Major part of the staff. Oh, I don't know, man. Tahad literally had his hands down right there. Didn't he? Or am I missing something there? God, I felt like Tahad literally had his hands down. Stacy Matlock's like, oh, God, come on. Brent would like to see more offensive rebounds, we'll put it that way. Him and John Denver. That John Denver guy's full of shit, man. I like that he signed it. That's pretty cool. Josh L. notes that although Tahad had his arms down, he had one around the guy's waist. That's probably not legal. ASU gets both free throws to get up to 38. Oh, Chad trying something tricky right there. It was actually kind of a brilliant idea, but came in a little hot. I don't think Dylan was necessarily ready for it. Miles loads up for a long one. Missed another one. I bet he's missed 5 in a row now. Oh!
Boom shakalaka.
Dylan, I like it. He saw that ASU, he didn't have any eyes on him defensively. He didn't see a single player with his eyes on him. He said, fuck it, I'll just roll around here and see what happens. And he got a full-scale windmill right there. That's going up. That's going up. Todd almost alley-ooped that to Chad Bacon Lasagna and didn't quite get it on target. Whoa, buddy. The guy tripped over. I mean, Dylan was down. And a guy tripped over Dylan. And they're going to call a foul on Dylan because he was on the ground. Is Simo? Oh, okay. Simo's just standing up on his bike. I feel like he just kind of got kicked in the back of the knee there. It'd be tough if Dylan was out, because he's a key guy right now on the inside. So you're going to have to play Janai and 31. It's time to play Turtle a little bit, maybe. Just give him one shift. Oh, Chad almost got that ball away. Getting a little thinner on the inside, though. I don't know what ASU was thinking right there. Miles, back it out. Or you can do that. You can Euro step that bad boy. 58 for the Auburn Tigers. They're up 20 now. Definitely getting right here. 11-2 run for the Auburn Tigers, and ASU says we got to call a timeout here 54 seconds before the next media timeout. Something to keep an eye on, though, with Simo out and Dillon potentially could be out. So we got to keep an eye and see what's going on there. AU256 said he about had a heart attack on that bad boy, worrying about Dillon going down. And Steve says a 20-point lead is the new tie. Man, I love you guys. Oh, man, there's no place I'd rather be. Watch a game with y'all. It's basically a tie. Oh, my goodness. Cinematic slow motion. ASU, by the way, has missed 5 shots in a row. They've hit 1 of their last 10, and they haven't hit a bucket in 4 minutes and 33 seconds. Is that bad? All right, I'm going to pull up these stats right here. And Auburn is plus 10 this half, by the way. It's not hard to figure out, of course. If you knew that Auburn was up 10 at halftime, and they're up 20 now, you don't got to be Tycho Brahe to figure that one out. All right, here's the latest second half box. And you can see Auburn plus 10, 7 of 14 from the floor. They're 2 of 11. And Auburn's rebounding margin is plus 2. Their margin on shots is plus 3. 2 assists, 1 turnover, which is the same as the last time we checked this. And 1 assist, 1 turnover for ASU. It's interesting that Auburn is not turning the ball over and is not getting many turnovers at this point. They're just out shooting them. Yeah, and not much else really standing out for me here. I do like the rebounding margin, but it's still pretty meager. Let's see. Big Sip says, why did I pick Clemson? ACC is a disgrace. We've literally been talking about this for like 2 weeks. That whole conference outside of Duke is a joke. Like, it's just horrible. Clemson is poop. Clemson's just straight dog water. And North Carolina, I mean, they beat San Diego State, so I can't really talk too much junk, but they're not very good either. Mang says, where can I watch the game? Don't have standard cable, not looking for any pirate activity. Legit pay stuff. I don't know the answer to that question, my man. I think it's on Paramount. Yeah, CJ says Paramount Plus. So maybe you can buy like a short-term pass or something like that. And Mang says, thank you. Look at him. He's grateful. He's grateful for that, CJ. Good stuff. Grind says, it sounds like our energy is much better. Grind, of course, is sticking with us here, learning. And Anthony says, so, I'm sorry, but we can't sleepwalk Saturday. Oh, nobody thinks that Auburn can sleepwalk Saturday. Creighton's a good ball club. They're a credible ball club for sure. (31-13) McNeese State over Clemson. Oh, shoot. Man, he's doing that to his alma mater, too. I've got Georgia beating Gonzaga, by the way. We'll see if that one pays off. Auburn paying a lot of attention to defensive rebounding this half, I believe. That's their 9th defensive rebound already. Just in this half. Now, ASU's missing a lot of shots, so it gives you a lot of opportunities, but they are getting them. Look at that quick pass. Oh, my goodness. Miles, what happened there, bro? Did he get stuffed or did he get stuffed? Just kidding. That was a smart. Oh, I thought Miles backed his hand off and let him just blow that layup. Let's see. Mang says, I've got Paramount because I'm a fangirl for 1923. Spencer is dreamy. Oh, 1923 is the offshoot of Yellowstone, right? Daniel thinks Gonzaga will go in dry on the Dogs. I don't know. I love Azanul. I think he'd look really good in an Auburn jersey. Grind says whatever Bruce said at the halftime worked. They are definitely playing much better. But here's the thing: they started the last half like this too. They played great basketball to start the first half, and lost their way for a while. So this is around the time that Auburn needs to kind of really focus because this is when they tend to slip down a little bit. Passing tempo. Oh, man. Nice pass to BP, though. I'm with you, BP. I don't even know what the... It's just like, BP goes, what? Wow. That was an interesting pass. I like it. BP catches the ball and he just goes... Mank says 1924, the best of the series. I'm going to have to take a look at that. I just finished 0 Hour on Netflix. Courtney and I did. It was okay, I guess. Ambitious said great pass. It was a perfect pass to BP. Right? Unfortunately, BP is not an eligible player. There he is, man. Coming through with a super chat saying, thanks, CJ and JG. War, Dad, come, Eagle. Hope you're able to get that working. Definitely come back. I thought we got some Paramount folks on here who've been watching on Paramount, so let me know how it goes. Cassidy pieces, if we're winning, we need to avoid shifting gears down. We tend to slip into second and then first when we should keep it in fourth or kick into fifth. You're absolutely right about that. Yeah, that's the problem. That's what really happened in the first half where they throttled down for no apparent reason, but you know how it goes. Stoop Up says the pass was so bad you can't even be mad. Yeah. Not really anybody there to. Not even really a good alibi on that one. Oh, yes. Great point, Nick A. This is for Tahad's pass right there.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Oh, man. Scotty P. Says Paramount has Star Trek Nerd Alert. Oh. Do we have a Nerd Alert sound? Nah, I don't know if I do. I don't know that I've ever watched a Star Trek episode from start to finish. I also have never watched a Seinfeld episode start to finish, so that's how it is. I'm more of a Jackass guy, to be fair. Take that as you will. Keith, let's see, says Pettiford, hear a familiar voice to his right and passed it for an open three. Too bad it was BP. Usually when he passes to familiar voices, good things happen, right? But BP's not going to be able to stroke from there. Runner 24 says, don't knock Star Trek. I was being careful. Wasn't giving it too much trouble. I mean, I don't get it, but then I do not consider myself an authority on cinema or TV, you know. And I love me some the Star Trek movies. Wrath of Khan was my shiz for sure when they put that worm in the guy's ear. That was amazing. Excited me. ASU comes out of that break with a little drive to cut it to 58-42. This is right when me and Cassidy P were like, don't throttle down, boys. Got to keep fighting and driving and digging because we've already seen what happens when that doesn't happen. Cheney says, I got you. I got a 10-footer right here that I'm going to stick right in.
Boom shakalaka!
And give it 2 more points to push him to 60 points. Great shot from the free throw line there from the elbow. Another quality defensive rebound. I would give half to Janai and half to Cheney on that, but whatever. They'll give it to Cheney. Cheney with a skip pass with his left hand. You like to see it. Man, kind of that pass from Denver kind of put Janai in a bad situation, but they're going to call a foul on ASU to help him out of that spot. Let's see. Josh says, we're not playing enough players when we were playing everybody. You had to go hard because you just wasn't going to be out there too long. Back in the day, yeah. Patrick P. correctly notes that he's the pride of UAH. or according to ESPN earlier this year, it was just Huntsville. He played at Huntsville. I was like, Huntsville High? Okay. You got all those coaches behind BP and Tahad. Simo's still on the sidelines. Oh, that was a nice punt fake by Chaney. Get that in. Get that in. Yes, sir.
He's heating up.
Nice play by Chaney, man. I feel like he's kind of in a flow today, man. He's going to have double-digit points, and I feel like he's been a factor. This is good. It's been a minute since we've seen him be a real factor. Boy, ASU gets another 3 to quiet him down, though. I thought the shot quality there was pretty good, too. Kind of an odd follow-through on the shot, but it worked. Let's see if they try some cutters here. A lot of skip passes for Auburn right now. Great rebound by Janai. He's going to draw a foul just because of his positioning there and frustration by ASU. I like that. He almost made it look like he was going to do an underhanded pass. And ASU, they couldn't turn their head fast enough to see there wasn't anybody there for him to pass to. But they still were kind of falling for it. Let's see. Matt says that Georgia pick looking good early. Jay, it is early. How about if they're up 20? I feel good about it. I just didn't think Gonzaga had it this year. I just thought they were like okay-ish, and I just think like Georgia. There's Kalkbrenner for Creighton, the big tall guy. He can actually shoot the 3 decently too. Yes, Kanuman says Chaney's finding a stroke again. It would be huge if he could. Oh, Janai missed another free throw. Dude, he had a bad game at the line last week, too. Boy, Chad slapped the hell out of that ball. Is that a foul, really? Guys, I don't know, man. Oh. Zags are up 13-0. Jeez. How about that? Guys, what do we think about that foul on Chad? It definitely wasn't his hand. I mean, he got all ball. Yeah, Madison thinks that was all ball, too. I'm with you. ASU just missed another 2 free throws. Which it could have added some drama to this game if he'd hit those, really. Bad pass from Chad. They're doing it again. They're doing it again. I just feel like on the attacking end, they're getting just blasé about things. I don't think they're working hard enough to get quality shots. Miles hit that. Attaboy. From his familiar spot, left slot. That's where he likes to shoot. Now, he probably missed 5 or 6 in a row prior to hitting that one, but he's back on the board. 20 points for him now. Of course, he had 12 in the first 3 minutes. Stoop Up says, Dylan's free throw coach also works for ASU. Oh, man, there he is. Auburn's free throw shooting is been bad today. That's an understatement. Auburn currently at the line is 8 of 17. Now the good news for Auburn is that ASU's been asked too, 6 of 14. Now they're going to be 6 of 15, I believe. After that, 7 of 15. Excuse me. So neither team's over 50% today at the line. That's not great. ASU with only 6 turnovers, although they had low turnovers in the game against STFU as well. Auburn has 9. Hit that, Miles. As Andy would say, in and out. In and out. Oh, ambitious play. It's going to be a turnover for ASU. Just a quick reset. We'll have some full stats here in about whenever the next media timeout is. But Auburn's shooting 46%. They're shooting 35%. Auburn is 9 of 29 from 3. Auburn is 8 of 17 from the line. And a number we haven't talked about too much lately was at the rim. Auburn is 8 of 11 at the rim, and they are 5 of 11 at the rim. And they don't have a dunk in this game, believe it or not. Looks like Janai just got himself a little piece. He's going to have an and one opportunity right here. That's a smart play, man. He got him leaning the wrong way, knew that he had it, and then he just kind of, got that harm in the hoop. See if he can hit this free throw. He can get it to go. So 68 now, and Janai breaks a little streak there where he was missing stuff at the free throw line. 68-45. I believe that's Auburn's yes, it is Auburn's largest lead of the game. They played a good second half so far. Only had a mild lull there around the 11-minute mark, and it looks like they've kind of picked it back up a little bit. And now they're going to get another stop because of a offensive foul on ASU or some kind of violation. All right, here's what we're going to do. I guess we'll go back to full stats. And there are some things on here I like. Some things on here I don't like. And one of the things I called is happening. And one of the things I called is not happening, at least not yet. Here are the full game stats. The number that sticks out to me is Auburn's rebounding advantage. It's now 11, which is definite progress. And their shot advantage is 5, which is they're getting there. You'd like to see those. You'd like to see a double-digit advantage there on the hot, fresh stats. You know what I'm talking about, Beppo. Auburn Tigers with 15 assists, which is nice. 9 turnovers, just a little bit more than normal, but that's okay, whatever. ASU has 5 assists on 17 buckets and 8 turnovers. Again, their turnovers were low in the STFU game. So that just may be something that's typical for them. Auburn this half is shooting 52% from the floor, and they are shooting 25% from the floor. So that kind of sets the tone for a nice half for the Auburn Tigers to get ahead. Points off turnovers, Auburn's +3. Points, second chance opportunities, Auburn is +7. And Auburn is +10 on the bench. They have a points per possession of just a hair under 1.2. They like to be 1.3. And they're still on pace to probably score, 83, 85 points in this game. And they're still inefficient. I mean, they're scoring inefficiently, and they're still going to score 80. Gives you an idea kind of what you're dealing with there. Got 4 guys in double figures, Janai, Miles, Tahad, and Chaney. And someone, I can't remember if it was N or if it was, maybe it was the guy who let the UK guy who's hoping to get Janai up to 23 points. I don't think he's going to make it. Small Victory says, has there been any talk of what time the Saturday game could be? I don't know the answer to that. I wish I did. Yeah, pipe. Boy, BP letting him have it, as is customary. He does that a lot. Like coaching for his life right here, right? Auburn's kind of becoming that team a little bit, right? Well, they lose early. Kansas had that reputation for a long time until they kind of broke out of it. But Chad had a good shot there for him. That's a shot he hits a lot. Oh, Chad says, no, sir. I think the fans in Lexington are being shortchanged because they're not getting the honeybees. ASU's outstanding dance team that everybody loves. They have the highest Q score in the country. They're more widely appreciated than Dolly Parton. But no honeybees for this. They may just be a football thing. I don't know. Tripp wants to know what happened to the offensive efficiency. It just hasn't been quite there today in particular. Oh, my God. He got a sticky right there where the ball got stuck between the rim and the glass. It's good luck for him. He's going to get laid tonight, but it's bad luck for the Hornets. They needed that bucket. CJ says, not the honeybees. It has a Z on the end, brother. If you're a real fan. But everybody loves the honeybees, man. There you go. Beppo knows what it's. No, he knows what time it is. It's like Chaney got hit in the face there. No call, of course. Let's see. Grind says it would be awesome if baseball swept Kentucky and Lexington this weekend and Auburn basketball makes it the Sweet 16. Would love for that to be the for why like the payoff for the Auburn fans to have made that travel up there. That would be sweet. I think BMAT's going to try to cover both. I think he's going to try to cover this and the baseball series. I told him, I said, hey, man, we could just go with like some, dossiers on or some dispatches, I should say, on the game. He's like, no, we'll cover it. I was like, oh, okay. Georgia has got 3 whole points in this game, guys. They're only down 20. Plenty of time in this one. Hey, you guys are going to be surprised to learn that Chad's in a altercation here. I really don't think he did anything here. I think he got fouled pretty clearly, but my reaction is just exactly what Ira says. Stu Pump says, I'm thinking hard about going to Lexington on Saturday and just Auburning all over myself this weekend. Oh, my goodness. Don't take any video of that. Just keep that between you and your wife. All right. I like that. Chad hits the shot. Hey, Simo's coming back in. Chad to hit the free throw before it even went in. He walking off the court. All right, so Simo's checking back in after a very long hiatus. We never did see Kai. And when they needed a wing, they just went to Miles there. So that's kind of an interesting look. I mean, he's certainly up to the task. Don't get me wrong. But, good hands-up play on the defense. And ASU gets a bounce back bucket there. I was already shorting them a bucket, so apologies there. 49 points for them. Excuse me. Oh, great rebound for Chaney, and they're going to call a foul on for getting position there. Dad. I'm almost sure it was Chad's left ankle that he rolled. I think it was. Grind says, oh, Jesus, Bruce pushed the Simo button. And Stu-Pup says, Kai is not in the future plans, fam. Thank you for that, Beppo. Well, they got to push him because they got to push somebody to play wing. I mean, it's just too many minutes, man. I guess Dylan hasn't come back in yet. I haven't really paid attention specifically, but maybe they said, hey, man, just sit this one out. There's Jeremy Napier there behind in the Auburn shirt behind Dylan there. Auburn's team chaplain and also legend himself. Brent, yeah, shout out to Kirsty Coventry, the former Auburn swimmer who's now the president of the IOC, representing the great country of Zimbabwe. A former Auburn Tiger who won a gold medal as an Auburn Tiger. I believe, I don't remember. I don't want to say what event it was in because I would mess it up. So it looks like Chad is fixing to check back in again. Cheney. He got Janai broomed right there. Whoa. Little parabolic up and under from ASU that went over the backboard. Simo just can't play. He's trying to Willis Reed out there as the 9-man. Play Kai, man. Like, you can play Kai. That's okay. No one's going to, be mad. $70-51. About 5 minutes to go. Oh, Janai. What? How in the world could the ASU guy be putting his hands up on that one? Come on, man. What do you mean, what did I do? You had both hands on him. I wonder if these kids really mean what they say. Do they actually wonder how they got a foul called on that? Or are they just are they trying to avoid having to do sprints after the game or something? There you go. Janai's back hitting some free throws now. That's good. That's good. Step in the right direction for the big man. Look at that. Get the shooter's roll on that one. Auburn to 72 points now with 5 minutes to go. Even though they've been inefficient today, they're still going to score a lot of points. Now, I understand it's a 116 game, so. Issue another careless turnover. They haven't had many of those today. Grind says, please play Kai. God, I feel like we need to play a special soundbite to try to get Kai in the game. It's like Kumbaya, but it's Kai Baya. Please play him. Please. He'd get in there and give a few Vince Carter dunks or something, Oh, no. Okay, but Janai got fouled. I was going to say he was actually moving forward on the shot. To me, that's an 80%er normally. Just a little push shot. Anthony says, did Georgia leave Blue Cane in Athens? 3 points? Is that all they have? So they still only have 3? Oh, my goodness. Holy cow, it is. It's 27-3. Oh, jeez. Guys, I'm serious. This is embarrassing. Well, they're 1 of 11 from the floor, and Gonzaga is 11 of 14. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Uh-oh. A little front rim action on that one. Sometimes I just think Ira. I just think Ira's. I don't think he'd ever say it. I just think Ira is just over Chad's theatrics. I mean, he just has this look on his face, like, here we go. You know what I mean? And it's all you got to do. Ira don't got to say nothing to me. He hasn't. He's just he just looks bored. He's like, I'm bored of this. With Chad always freaking out all the time. Ephesians says this team needs to find a gym tomorrow and shoot free throws all day. Now, somebody asked earlier about rebounding drills. Now, Auburn does free throws all the time. They do free throw drills before practice. They do free throw drills in practice. They do free throw drills after practice or near the end of practice. They always do that. So, whatever shortcomings they have at the free throw line ain't because they aren't shooting enough. That is definitely not the problem. Scotty P says, Ira's not alone. No, if that is the case for Ira, again, I'm not betraying him or anything. I haven't had a conversation with him about it at all. But if he is in fact done with Chad's antics, he is definitely not alone. But it just cracks me up to see him like this. Because Ira's not this guy. Like, that's not him normally. There's A.D. Scott leading the guys off the bench. JP as well. All right, and so we go to coming in late here to the game. So we will let me get some new stats up here, some hot fresh stats to review, and let's see if that FGA mark is getting toward double digits now. I really hope that it is, and it is not. Yeah, I'm gonna miss on that one, boys and girls, but that's okay. I'm gonna miss on my Georgia pick over Gonzaga too. It sure looks like. But sometimes yeah, you know what it is?
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
All right, here's the latest stats from this game here. Of course, this isn't the Georgia game because they've actually hit some shots. Both teams, in fact. Both teams have shot 55 shots. Ephesians says that 7-footer will be a problem Saturday. He is certainly tall. He is not their number one player. I don't think of him necessarily as their number 2 player, but he's probably their number 3 player. He can't shoot threes. He's not a dominating guy the way that Edey was, but he is a good player. His name's Ryan Kalkbrenner, and he's a good player. So, yeah, it's going to be something to deal with. And I think somebody like Turtle is going to have to be on guard, and not because he can stuff that guy, but it's going to be foul city. Somebody's going to have to get in there and be physical with him. And I think Turtle can be a guy to do that and take up some fouls. You know what I mean? Let's see. Grind says, I love that drop. That's Beastie Boys. Drop. Most recently, I think of them, it's in, what is that song from Hello Nasty? God, Jay, what are we? Intergalactic is the name of the song. But I think that soundbite might be from an earlier track of theirs, too, and they just brought it back up. One Fly says Hudson has to step up big time. Yeah, at the absolute minimum, just provide some fouls, right? Danny H just says War Eagle, and I think that's something we can all be cool with there. Rebounding, Auburn's margin is now 8, which is just so-so, blah, blah, blah. Shooting 48% this half, 44 in the first half for a combined 45.5. Like, okay, intergalactic planetary. Is it Scotty P knows that track? Beppo knows that track. It's from License to Ill originally. Very good. I don't know which track it would have been, but I had a feeling I'd heard it before. Keith G says this is BP's way of saying there are guys that won't be on the team next year. I mean, Sam H thinks it's Brass Monkey. That chunky monkey. Brass monkey. Bump, bump. Bump, womp, womp, womp. That funky monkey. Yeah, I mean, Kai's just doesn't have a future here. Let's be real about it. I mean, if he did, he'd be playing a little bit. I mean, they're still up 21 here with 4 minutes to go. I guess you still keep your starters in. I mean, hell, the way Auburn plays. Oh!
Boom shakalaka!
I guess it's going to be a foul on Denver. Is that why Dylan seems dejected despite that nasty dunk? That is indeed what happened. Scotty P says he saw the tour at Lakewood, a.k.a. Hello Nasty. Also include the song Body Movin'. Ain't no sound, but the sound so soothing. Body moving, body moving. Of course, big difference between Dylan and Denver at the line. Denver is Splash City at the line usually. 90% or better. Dylan hoping for 50% at best, and Denver does exactly what you'd expect him to do. Go up there and knock down 2. 76-53 with 4 minutes to go. I don't know. It's just a little surprising that Auburn's up 23 and still playing basically the #1 guys. I mean, Janai's not out there, but nice drive by ASU. They've had some nice drives. Just not enough. Anonymous says Intergalactic was on the 1998 album Hello Nasty. Did you know that, Scotty P? Appreciate that, Anonymous. Nice rebound by Dylan. What are we doing here? Oh my gosh, the Ratliff twins are still running the scores table. I talked to you guys last time that the Ratliff twins are identical twins from Georgetown, Kentucky that started working the scores table when I was at Kentucky. So that would be 97 to 98. And they still run them. They're still there. I forgot they're in, I know they're in Lexington. That doesn't look like UK's court, so I don't really realize that they're still actually at UK's court. So really nice girls. And, yeah, they were young when I was young. My friend Chucky G used to be Auburn's basketball publicist back in the day. He posted a picture with them the other day. I would call out both of their names, but I know Holly, but I forget what her sister's name is. So I just said the Ratliff twins. Man, it looks like ASU's just chilling. All right, cool, guys. I mean, if you get a 20-point shot here, you're right back in the game. Auburn's still playing basically starters. I mean, like, not going to Blake, not going to Presley, not going to Turtle. Like, nice rebound from Chaney. We got somebody checking in. I can't tell who that is, though. That might actually be Kai checking in. I'm not kidding. I didn't see Kai on the bench. So I was looking at the bench and missed that splash. That's a retroactive splash. My bad on that one. Yeah, might as well. You want to do the danger zone? I mean, I think we can do it. I think we've been in a situation that would be appropriate there for a while, but it's just kind of tradition. And when we feel like Auburn has got the team in the deep shit part of the game, we just play this little danger zone clip, and it's just a moment for us to reflect on some really important values in our life. There's Kai coming in.
The danger zone. This is your redheads, your strippers, anyone named Tiffany. This is where your car gets keyed, you get a bunny in the pot, your tires get slashed, and you wind up in jail.
All right, there we go. Anyone who's new to the stream, Kai is in the game. ASU gets up to 57 now with those pair of free throws. Auburn, of course, still at 56. Blake Mashalik is in the game. And the Auburn fans providing they lustily applaud their boys. Let's see. Blake is in the game. Turtle's in the game. Kai is in the game. Still got Tahad and Chaney. He passed it over for Turtle, and Turtle wasn't ready for it. Ooh, Danny H jumps in with a super chat. A super chat. Appreciate you, Danny. He says, thanks again for all you do, Jay, for Auburn and Jay. As always, appreciate you, Danny. Thanks for hanging out with us today on this, the first round of the NCAA tournament. Uh-oh. That was a big shot right there. Tahad Pettiford doing what he does sometimes. Splash. Tahad, maybe could it be? I mean, could this be the kind of thing that gets him going a little bit for the next game? That would be nice. It's a nice little Euro step from ASU right there on a drive. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate you being here and hanging out about it. Colby is worried about Creighton, which is fair, I think. I still feel like Creighton fans are definitely worried about Auburn. I like Creighton. Oh, boy. Chaney with a three-point shot that I don't think even got close enough to the rim. Blake with a rebound. And I think he's just going to kill it. They do have about a second differential here, so BP's telling him just chill. Get it to Kai Howard. Let Kai dunk on somebody. And can you even play Blake without Presley? That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the travesty here. Ephesians is not very confident, Jay. Talk me off the ledge. Listen, brother. I mean, Creighton's a good team, but they don't defend for shit, man. I mean, Auburn should be able to score 75 or 80, like without too much trouble. So, at that point, what you really need is, play some defense from Auburn, and you should be able to do that. Auburn's a pretty good defensive team, typically. By the way, Blake Michalek is getting on the stat sheet. He did hit one of his free throws and got Auburn up to 83. ASU gets a uncontested layup, and that's going to be it for this one. Ladies and gents, 83-63, a 20-point win for the Auburn Tigers. I believe the line was something in the 30s, so that in a sense, that's kind of a Tahad, I wouldn't dance too much, my guy. So I mean, it's a win. It's a win. It's a win that I think is fine. Played decently offensively. Played decently defensively. You just want to see better consistency, right? You want to see them play at a more consistent level for 20 minutes or for 40 minutes even. Would be great. The good news is that I thought the second half was more consistent than the first half. We didn't have that big drop, that big slump that we saw in the first half where they basically just went dead for like 5 or 6 minutes. We didn't see that in the second half. As a result, Auburn was plus 10 in the first half scoring, plus 10 in the second half scoring. So that is kind of consistent, I guess. Let's see. Big Homelander says, I don't have confidence over the span of the last 5 games. That's fair. Of course, Auburn... let's see, lost in overtime to Alabama, lost at Texas A&M, beat Ole Miss, first round of the SEC, their first round of the SEC tournament, lost to Tennessee in their second game of the SEC tournament, and now beat Alabama State to open the NCAA tournament. I mean, you haven't really seen anything today, I think, that would stoke enthusiasm about the team, right? I mean, the fact that they went out there and handled business and won the game is good, but they didn't really win it the way that we thought they would. I thought they would win by 30. You guys probably thought they would win by 30. And the lack of consistency I found a little bit problematic. But bottom line is they're moving on, and I just think you guys, again, I don't know if it's just the kind of like the sky is falling ethos of many Auburn fans who have had the rug pulled on them many, many times through the years. And for those reasons, I don't give you guys hell about it. I have been here alongside you guys to see front row for all the heartache you have endured in the last 25 years. For me, I've been covering Auburn, I think 27 years now, but you know what I mean. You've had a lot of rug pulls in your day, and I get it, but Auburn is a much better team than Creighton, and they should be able to win this game. Let's talk a little bit about this ASU game now that we have the full stats. Small Victory says the good news is I get to watch us play on my birthday. Happy 18th, my man. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yo, Malcolm says PTSD. Again, that's fair. I know what you guys have been through, and that's why I don't mock you. That's why I don't mock you. There's a reason that you guys are this way, and I've been there to see it. Let's talk about the ASU game. First of all, Auburn, let's see, ends up shooting 45% from the floor, which is not bad. I think they'll take that in a general sense. 31% from 3, which is not great. It should be better than that. The free throw line is really an area of concern. 18 of 32. That's 56% from the line. That is not good enough. Auburn's typically a 74%, 75% shooting team. Madison C says, great job, JGT. I appreciate you, my guy. Thanks for being here and being so supportive of what we do. One Fly likes the second half a lot better. I do too. I thought they were more consistent. Rebounding plus 10 for the Auburn Tigers. They actually go -2 on shots attempted, which is surprising to me. It's confusing that you would go plus 10 rebounds and -2 shooting. It's just strange to me. And 18 of 32 at the line is just not good, guys. God, I would expect them to be probably 26 or 27 of 32 at the line. Ball handling, 16 assists and 12 turnovers is way too many, considering ASU, really all they did was trap. They did a two-man trap in the half court, and that was it. And that's stuff that Auburn should have seen coming from 500 miles away. I get the feeling like ASU's trap was anything exotic or even particularly good. I mean, they're not super long or anything. I don't understand. I don't feel like there should have been that many turnovers. But that's just, we're nitpicking here. 3 blocks, 2 steals is low for Auburn. On the ASU side, they shoot 37% from the floor. Auburn's generally good with that. 6 of 25 from 3. Auburn's 3 or long-range defense, long-range shooting defense has been good lately. Been really good. 11 of 19 from the line, so they've kind of had their own problems there. 6 assists on 23 buckets, but if you watch the way they play, it's kind of isolated the way they play, so I guess that's not a big deal. 10 turnovers. Auburn gets out-turnovered by 2, which is surprising, and 10 steals for ASU. And another number that sticks out that we always talk about, I don't know that you guys pay much attention to it, but points per possession is 1.186. Auburn likes to be 1.3, and Auburn is around 1.3 a lot of the time. Because I think Auburn's offense at this point is probably, well, when you take the whole season into account, I think of them as more consistent on the offensive end than the defensive end. I wouldn't necessarily say that now. The last 5, 6, 7 games have been a little bit different. Now, the UK game was good. They played a great game at UK. That's probably been their best game of the second half of the season was the game at UK because they literally just had control of that game from start to finish, and they're pretty good. They're in the tournament. Jeez, man. I'm already on to some goober. I'm going to switch over to the, let's see, Gonzaga, Georgia. Has Georgia cracked 3 points yet? Give that a laugh. Hey. 37-21. Wow, they did kind of catch up, didn't they? Well, I mean, a little bit, relatively speaking. Blue Cane. Who Auburn spoke with, number 0 for Georgia. Auburn spoke with, but decided that I didn't think he was quite good enough. Let's see, what did Runner 24 say? 20-point win, but felt neither good nor satisfied. JG, I know you're not satisfied, but are you good? Biscayne is here. Bruce has to prove he can win in the tournament. 2019 was an outlier sparked by above-average shooting, and that team should have lost round 1. I'm glad you say that, Biscayne, even though you're Mr. Negative. Yeah, they were lucky. Very, very lucky. That was a 51-49 game. Prior to the 2019 run, the first round, they barely got by New Mexico State, and we were all just like, holy shit. I don't think we were streaming back then. But if we were, we'd be on here hate talking, hate typing. Josh, I guess, was asking a little bit about Kai, why he doesn't play more, and D-Lucky says he's in the doghouse and he won't get out. Jester87 said, I'm concerned about how many teams can drive on us now. It's been like this for a little while. BYU and Virginia Commonwealth. But what I really want to see is what he's doing to what Will Wade's doing to his alma mater over here. I'm telling you, before we started streaming every game, I used to shoot free throws. I used to shoot photography on the sidelines at Auburn, and I usually shot on the far side because the professional photographers shot on the Auburn side, so I would be on the visitor side, and I would sit right next to the visitors bench. And from that perch, I could listen to everything the opposing coach would say. And the coaches were, some guys were more like John Wooden, very principled and calm. And then all the way on the other end of that spectrum would have been Will Wade, who was coaching LSU at the time. And I mean, every third word is a cuss word, and he would really get after guys and call them bad names. Names that if it ever got out in the press that he was calling his players, he'd probably get fired. People would not let their kids play for him. He is a straight up dick. Period. That's all you got to say about that. Dark Side jumps in with a super chat. My man says, JG, take a sip. Hell yeah. Let me get this queued up right here, my man, with this barrel. I was drinking this barrel Seagrass. It's an interesting taste. It's finished in with Martinique rum, a Madeira, and apricot brandy barrels. So as you can expect, this probably has an odd taste to it. Well, not odd, just different. Appreciate you, Dark Side. Let's see. Chip's got his grades in. Janai, B+. Tahad, B-. Chad Bacon Lasagna, B-. Miles Kelly, an A+. 23 points, led the team on 8 of 16 shooting, 7 of 15 from 3, 3 rebounds, 0 assists, 1 turnover, and 1 block. I don't know about A+ on that. Dylan B, Cheney B+, Denver C, Simo Turtle Kai, and walk-ons participated. I think we're in perfect lockstep there, except I would give MK an A-. And I think he was the only one that played at an A level today. But I would say this. If Tahad, 3 turnovers for Tahad, including the pass to BP, he played almost an A game. I would say B+ for Tahad. You gave him a B-, but we're still in the B range. I like what listen, man, he had a bad game against Tennessee. He's a young player. He bounced back. I thought he practiced his ass off in practice, which is very common for him. And I thought he came out today with a clean slate and played with the same reckless abandon that we love from him. He still didn't shoot the ball great, from range, but he was able to get in there and mix it up in there with the trees, get to the hole a little bit, just kind of be an auger. I think he played great. 4.5 minutes to go in this Clemson game. McNeese is up 17 on Clemson. I think this one's going to be a wrap, guys. And this Clemson coach may be getting a preview into some stuff that's going to be going down because Will Wade just took the job at NC State this morning. This is going to be a very interesting post-game press conference when it's like, hey, guys, you have any questions for the student athletes? Yeah. Hey, Jay Tay with auburnsports.com. So it's reported that your coach is leaving you, abandoning you, going to NC State. How do you feel about that? Questions for the student athletes? I don't remember. That doesn't happen very often. You leave right before your team starts playing in the NCAA tournament. I mean, jeez. Don Proper Dickens says, tonight is the Bizarro Bourbon Blend spinoff, the vodka variety. Courtney decided we weren't going to do a show tonight because I'm streaming now, and then also it's Jay Dub's birthday. We're going to go celebrate with him tonight. So she was like, we're not going to do a show tonight. I said, okay. I mean, she's the boss. I mean, we don't have a show without Courtney's Corner, and so I haven't gotten one, so we can't do it. Yo Malcolm says, keep attacking the basket, TP. I agree with you on that. I mean, some days he's got the shooting, but when he doesn't, drive. And I think today he drove some. He wasn't like swashbuckling totally, but he's an auger. He's a guy that just gets stuff going. And once I stopped thinking about him as Damon Stoudemire, and I started thinking about him as like a Nick at Night, like a Nick Van Exel. I start changing how I feel about him. Nick Van Exel is more of an auger, and I think he can do better. Let me rephrase that. I think he serves the team better as an auger rather than a shooter. And I think he did more of that today. More of an auger. Chaney had a nice game. 13 points on 5 of 9 shooting, 3 of 4 from the line, 7 boards, which you love to see. 3 turnovers you don't love to see. And Dylan, this is more of the kind of game that I would like from him. 3 points on 1 of 1 shooting, 1 of 4 from the line. Of course, we kind of expect that from him, right? But 8 rebounds. Remember, he had a game recently where he played 19 minutes and got 0 rebounds. 8 rebounds today, 4 offensive, 4 defensive, plus a block and a steal. I am completely fine with him having a game like this. And for me, if you're grading him on 1s and 0s, he gets a 1 from me. I thought he played great today. I mean, that's the stuff we need from him, right? You don't need shooting. You don't need transition buckets. We don't even really need assists. You just need boards and defense. That's all you got to do. So we're doing grades. Grind. Sir Chip dropped his earlier, and I agreed with almost all of them. I can just run through them here quickly, though, and just in my opinion. Denver, some of these numbers are sticking out to me now. 6 assists and 0 turnovers is terrific for a guy that plays point guard a lot. So 8 points on 2 of 6 shooting, 1 of 5 from 3. I don't love that. 3 of 5 from the line. Don't love that for a guy that shoots 90%. 4 rebounds is pretty good for him, but 6 assists and 0 turnovers. So for me, that's probably a B. Janai, whatever the numbers tell me, and I'm not going to go through them yet, but I still give him an A. I give him a B+ because he was a presence in this game. 14 points on 5 of 9 shooting, 4 of 9 from free throws, which is a bad number. 11 rebounds I'm good with. 1 assist, 3 turnovers. He was competing all the time. He was a factor in this game. The assists bother me. The free throws bother me. So I'm going to drop him down to a B, but only for those reasons. Chad was just okay today. I'm going to give him a C+ on that. 1 of 9 from the floor. Not great. Miles, terrific. I'm going to give him a B+, though. 8 of 16 from the floor, 23 points, 7 of 15 from 3. Good God. Did not shoot a free throw, 3 rebounds, 0 assists, 1 turnover, 1 block. It's probably B or B+ for me. Dylan, here's the thing. His numbers don't scream it, but for me, that's an A. I mean, 8 rebounds, 3 points, good defense. That's all I ask of him. That's all we ask of him. So for me, that's an A. Just do that and don't do anything else. Tahad, 16 points on 5 of 9 shooting, 5 rebounds, which is great for him. 5 assists and 3 turnovers. If he does 5 assists and 1 turnover, I'd probably give him an A. But as it stands, I think B or B+. He did play a lot of minutes, 28 minutes, and he was a factor in there. He's an auger. I like him. Let's give him a B+. Jakai, Simo, Turtle, and Blake just didn't play enough. And Chaney. I like Chaney. I thought he played good today. 12 points on 5 of 9 shooting, 3 of 4 from the line, 7 boards, 1 assist. The 3 turnovers are a notable negative, but I still think I'd give him a B too, which means for the team in general, that's probably a B. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Unfortunately, great point. Daniel asks about the Creighton game today. I had the frickin' box score up earlier, and I killed it. So let me see if I can pull that back up. And we'll take a look at what Creighton did against Louisville today. Yeah, I still have it in my trash can. I just pulled it out. So we'll take a look at this one, okay? This is the final box score from Creighton against Louisville. Earlier today, a game where Creighton was up early and just basically just put them away. Game got down to almost 10, and then the dumbass Louisville coach got a technical foul for talking to the ref. He must have called him a name, called his wife a bitch or whatever. And so then that was 2 free throws for Creighton plus the ball. Then they scored, and that's a 4-point swing, and that's all she wrote. And I hope the Louisville writers rag on Pat Kelsey for that choice because he hurt his team with his mouth like a dumbass. Let's see. In this game, they were plus 5 rebounding. Interestingly, they were minus 14 shots, but no big deal. Looks like they shot from 3 pretty well, 46% from 3, including 56 in the first half. Stephen Ashworth, a.k.a. Stephen Ashworth, goes 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 4 of 8 from 3-point range. That's pretty ballery. I like that one. 17 assists, 10 turnovers. Only had 2 steals. Interesting. But they got 89 points. But Louisville, again, guys, I've been telling you guys the whole time, Louisville sucks. They're paper tigers big time. They don't accomplish anything. They play in a bitch conference, and they don't beat anybody, and they play like ass today, and that's exactly what I expected. Now what I'm going to do, excuse me, I'm going to go over here to KenPom. We'll take a look at Creighton's scouting report. Let me go ahead and pull this bad boy over. Come on, Jay. Looks like McNeese is still, I think they're going to hold on and beat Clemson. This is going to be considered a big upset, but it's not really for me. Considering I called McNeese to win this one. I also called Georgia to win, which is what I get. All right, so this is the KenPom scouting report on Creighton. And you can see a lot of highs and lows. You don't usually see a scouting report with this much green and red. It's like everywhere there's green, there's just as much red. So defensively, they're 42nd ranked, which is just okay. I mean, I don't know. It's good. It's not amazing. 39 offense, which is good, not amazing. Let's see. 2-point shooting poor. I'm sorry, 3-point shooting poor. 2-point shooting outstanding. Free throw shooting average. They get blocked a lot, but they do a lot of blocking, or a fair amount of blocking. They don't get any steals, and they give it up a lot. So they're just kind of all over the map. But bottom line is their 2-point shooting is outstanding. There's Cleveland Brown, my man. I actually referenced you earlier, my guy, because I've been over here staying very hydrated, as you would expect from me. I mean, the scouting report in general about Creighton is that they're pretty good at running the ball. That when they get out in transition, they got bodies. They can get up and down the court. They space. They shoot. They can they'll run on you, but they don't really play much defense. And you can see here, I mean, their offensive rebounding is bad. Their defensive rebounding is okay-ish, but they don't get any steals, and they can't really shoot threes, and they don't really defend threes. So, if I didn't have a name on this and this was just Nutsack State or whatever, like this team wouldn't do much for me here. Because you talk about, okay, they're going to be great at 2-point shooting, which probably means they got a big guy or a couple big guys, or they have maybe some forwards that are good in the paint. But Auburn doesn't have that truly like big rim protector like Walker. But they're still pretty good about rim protection because Dillon's pretty good, Janai's pretty good about positioning, Chaney a little bit in there too. And the guards actually tend to defend the ball pretty well as it gets in close. So 2-point shooting for a team like this doesn't scare me a ton. And the fact that they're sloppy with the ball, you think Auburn could probably do something here. This team wouldn't scare me a lot. The fact that it's Creighton it's a little more concerning. I don't know if it's the name concerns me or what it is. And let's take a look real quick at Creighton's body of work here, like their schedule as we've come down the stretch here. I'll line it up from boy, they started playing conference season early, didn't they? They started playing conference season before Christmas. Let me go ahead and hide this, and we'll put up their schedule, and you can see, I mean, it's been highs and lows here a little bit. This is before the game, I guess, where they've got Louisville as an L. KenPom expected them to lose to Louisville. I did not. So notably add that one as a green for you. But they lost to Georgetown, who was just trash this year. Marquette's a good ball club. UConn is kind of up and down. That was a weird game. And that UConn game at home on February 11th, that's the game where UConn had a freshman that just went crazy on them and scored like 30. They just couldn't guard that guy. The white dude, he was good that night. Lost to St. John's, which is no big deal. They're good. I got their win back against Georgetown. Crushed DePaul, who's not good. Lost at Xavier by 20 or more. Seton Hall, Butler, DePaul, UConn, lost to St. John's again. By the way, I got St. John's winning the national title this year, so that's what I think of them. Look, man, let's be real. Creighton's a credible team. To me, they would be somewhere in the neighborhood of like a like Ole Miss, Missouri type team. Like not Tennessee, not Florida, not Auburn, not Alabama, but the next step down, maybe Texas A&M, maybe an Ole Miss. That's kind of what I think of them as. They've got flaws. Their defense is not great. They don't shoot the three well. So if they get behind, it's hard for them to catch up because they're never going to be like that quick hit 3-3-3. They don't have a Miles Kelly. They don't have a Denver Jones. But they do have bodies, and they can get out in transition. So, I mean, that's the thing. Auburn's just going to have to beat them up there. And that's the way it's going to be. On the Creighton Blue Jays from Omaha, Nebraska. Runner 24 says the Hoyas were a bit better finally. I mean, let me take a look. I don't pay much attention to Georgetown, to be honest. There's never been a point in my life where I liked Georgetown. Runner 24, brother. I don't know. Man. I don't know how you, are you sure about that? Let's take a look at Georgetown's. Not that this matters. We're just having fun with Runner 24 because he's such a stud. We love him. But here's Georgetown's schedule. That's a lot of red, my man. Let's see. They lost, what's that, 5 out of 6? And probably lost 15 out of 20 to close. That may actually be improvement for Georgetown, but that ain't very good. Some of these teams aren't very good either. I mean, you get crushed by Providence, lost to DePaul. They're horrible. So I don't know about that. I've been kind of a Georgetown hater all along. Look at how happy the McNeese State fans are. They live for this, man. They live it. They love it. They're in ecstasy. Clemson got a 3 right there. They're still down 9, though, with 45 seconds to go. I don't know. Blake R says, Omaha. All right, so this is Creighton. We're back to Creighton now. Runner 24 said, had 2 best guys get hurt late, making it ugly. I got you. Remember, they won 3 conference games the last 2 years, so they've been at the absolute basement there at Georgetown. And going back to Creighton's scouting report, you know, the things that really stick out here, FTA versus FGA, which means they don't foul a lot when it's on the defensive side. So they're good about fouling. 2-point shooting is really good. 2-point defense is really good, which tells me they've got big guys, that they rely on big guys. Or I mean, you don't even necessarily say, I know it's Kalkbrenner, but they've got guys who can score inside. They don't necessarily have to be big. I mean, Janai's not super big, but he's good. He gives Auburn a real presence at 2-point shooting. Free throw shooting is not a strength. So three is not shooting is not good. Free throw shooting is not good. They don't steal the ball. They give the ball up a lot. I mean, there's just a lot of things there that you can get up on. Madison C says Nice just wiped out 20% of all brackets. Were there that many people that were like balls deep on Clemson? Really? Like, that's just not a team I would ever trust. Outside of Duke, there's no team from the ACC I would have trusted at all. Grind says that's good because we've been missing free throws anyway. And Keith notes that the big center, a.k.a. Ryan Kalkbrenner, had 5 blocks. Let's take a look at that box score. Oops, wrong one, Jay. Oh, I deleted it because I'm a dumbass. Let me get it back. Nope, that's not it either, Jay. Did I lose it again? God, I'm so bad about this, guys. I'm sorry. All right, I'm going back. This is definitely it. So Kalkbrenner is their big guy. And he had 4 blocks today, and they had 5 as a team, is what I think he was trying to say, yeah. Interesting. I mean, I don't think it's going to be easy. I think Auburn's going to have to play this game. I mean, at some point, you've got to start playing really good basketball to win some games in the SEC in the NCAA tournament. I mean, you got to do that. Blake R says, how hot do we think Dabo's seat is for that L? That's my guy right there. Oh, that's funny. Come on, man. And you know what Dabo thinks about you talking that shit, Blake?
And I ain't going to let some smart-ass kid get on this phone and create this stuff. So if you got a problem with it, I don't care, all right?
He don't care. He don't care about that, Blake. You don't care about Blake from Maryland. He ain't worried about you. What does he know about it? How many games has Blake won, huh? Big Sipper, man, I missed you earlier when you said Gus would call it a solid. That's pretty solid. Ravin says we will struggle the rest of the way. I tend to think it's going to be a rock fight from here on out, honestly. I mean, I think this Creighton game is going to be a rock fight. And then after that, I don't have any idea what to expect after that. You still got UC San Diego and Michigan to be litigated. You still got Texas A&M and Yale to be litigated. So I don't even know how to project what's going to happen there. But, yeah, I mean, look, man, I can't ignore the fact that Auburn hasn't played great basketball lately. It's been a little while, and I think D. Lucky, who would love to see Auburn play its best basketball right now, would acknowledge that they're not doing it. And even today, I thought they did some things that were really good, but it's a 5-point game here, this McNeese-Clemson game, but I still think McNeese has got a 98% chance to win this game. Hit a couple free throws here, and you're Gucci. My man, Fat Crack, there he is. Guy's been working his nuts off. It says, War Name Eagle, JG. Appreciate you, Fat Crack, for the super chat. We love Fat Crack, one of our absolute legends in the football season, but he's been working hard. He's a working man in basketball season, and also it's middle of the day game, to be fair. So love having Fat Crack here. Glad you're here. My man, Ravin says, I just remember the Final Four team playing with such freedom and flow. Of course, Ravin is a Boston Celtics fan, so he gets to see basketball at the highest level, well, just short of OKC, all the time. And, yeah, that 19 team had something crazy going on, right? Crazy good. Every team since then has been missing that. This team at times, this team right now, I mean, had that flow, and I think that's why we all got googly-eyed about Clemson just hit a 3-point game with 11 seconds to go. I thought this game was completely out of reach at the 2-minute mark. They're going to have to hit some free throws here. Runner 24 says, do have Trey Donaldson getting his shot at the Tigers in a few rounds. That would be interesting. Also, Danny Wolf, who's a star player for Michigan, is the main guy from Yale. So Auburn could get some Yale and Trey Donaldson reclamation, if you want to look at it that way, all at once in that game. Javon Garcia here taking the free throws. Looks like Darth Vader. But he hit his free throw to make it a 4-point situation there. I think Clemson's cooked. I think they're cooked, boys and girls. They cooked. Clemson trying to get down there, hoping for a 4-point play. That's a wrap. 69-67 is how it's going to go. They may review this too, but it ain't going to matter. Might as well just give it to him. Blake said he would prefer to not be on the struggle bus. I'm on board with that. Nobody wants to be on that. That's a one-way ticket to nowhere. Well, you sounded like Dirty Harry just then. Big win for McNeese, man. I mean, you could say there's like 0.2 seconds left in this game, but really, is it really worth all that? You know, wherever Patch Adams is, he's sitting there going, oh, my God, how much I would love to do this replay. Oh, my goodness. Cassidy Pieces, I'm back. Did we win? Whoa. Did we win? Indeed, Auburn did. We were just breaking down Creighton. Great 2-point shooting, poor 3-point shooting, poor free throw shooting. They turn the ball over a lot. They don't create turnovers. Defensively, just okay. They do have some depth, and they do get out in transition. Although you look at this Louisville game, they really didn't show a lot of depth. They played 6. We'll call it 6.5 with Isaac Trout playing a little bit. But they can get out and transition a little bit. This is a tight game for the most part. I mean, you know what I mean. They were 10 points up and they had to keep staying. They had to play hard to stay up 10. But Ashworth plays all 40. They've got 2 guys, including Kalkbrenner, that go 38. So when I say they're deep, I don't know. They're not quite as deep as I remember them being. But they're really good at 2-point shooting. And, yeah. Jemiah Neal, Ryan Kalkbrenner, they're going to give you some rebounding. And they're going to give you some physicality. G. Curry, my man, says half the ACC is already home. You love to see that, don't you? They're a bunch of goobers, dude. Look at Will Wade. I really want to pull for him, man, but I just having listened to him on the sideline when he was at LSU, I'll never like him. He's legitimately just like not great. I mean, he might be a great coach, but I wouldn't want him coaching my son. I don't have a son, but you know what I mean. I mean, if D-Lucky said, hey, my son was thinking about playing for Will Wade, what do you think, JG? I'd say hell no. I'd say, what other options has he got? I'd say his daddy went to South Alabama. His daddy loves the Auburn Tigers. Let's try to get him to Auburn. Yeah, you're right, 24. I think he thinks Creighton is fairly thin with one guy who's been for a while, just a few who score. You're right. I felt like watching them earlier in the year. I don't know if they had guys get hurt or whatever. That Zukic guy played pretty well in the games I saw against UConn, but he's kind of like, he's a bench guy. Wait, that's Chuck Culpepper right there. Did you just see that? Oh, Newman's not going to be able to see that. Is this from Providence? I know Chuck's in Providence. Chuck's like my favorite reporter of all. Yeah, it is Chuck. It must be in Providence. The great Chuck Culpepper. The greatest living American sports writer, in my opinion. Absolute legend. All right, so here's the situation. We don't know when this next game's going to be. I mean, we know it's going to be on Saturday, but we don't know what time. Unfortunately. We know it's going to be in Lexington. We know it's going to be Saturday, but we don't know what time yet. So at that point, we're going to have to try to figure this out and litigate this later on. Yeah, Runner 24 says games are in Providence. Yeah, I saw Chuck posted earlier that he was in Providence. Of course, he's my favorite sports writer and a friend of mine. And somebody who's 5,000 times more talented than I am. But it's okay. I don't mind. God gave me this platform to hang out with literally hundreds of you guys for Auburn games, and I'm so grateful for it. Because I never in my life thought that I would be doing this. Like when I started in newspapers, I'd be like, I don't know. I just thought I'd be doing that. And that's just such a dumb way to look at life. Like, I'm going to keep doing the same thing for the next 40 years. Of course you're not going to do that. Anyway, you guys have brought meaning to my life, and I appreciate you for that. Frank says, when do games go to Atlanta? So that will be the next round. So Sweet 16. And those are going to be Friday, Sundays, by the way. So if Auburn is able to navigate its way past Creighton on Saturday, whenever time that game is going to be, then they wouldn't play again until Friday in Atlanta. So that would be pretty sweet to have some extra time off. Although, they're in the habit now of playing twice a week in the SEC schedule anyway. So I just think it would be helpful for Denver. It'd be helpful for Janai just to kind of get back. But, we didn't really notice today. I didn't feel like Janai was slowed at all with the ankle. And I felt Denver was fine. It seemed like Chad was fine. So I didn't really think that there were any, bruises, bangs, dings. I didn't feel like they were slowed by that. Kanuman says, which game? I'm back in the room and have games on now. Well, it's over now. I think the McNeese Clemson game. I mean, that was Chuck, so it has to be Providence. I know he's in Providence. I remember when Jim Calhoun goes, it took 2 years for him to get him to go to Providence, to sell the kid to Providence. I think that every time I hear the word Providence. My experiences in Providence have been really good, though. When we went there, we went downtown, and it was nice. I don't know. So the Tigers is a Sweet 16 and Elite 8 Frank. That's when Auburn would be playing in the when you're talking about Auburn in Atlanta, potentially it would be, like Solo Tigres said, in the Sweet 16 of the Elite 8. That'd be Friday and or Sunday if they make it that far. So we will reconvene, you and me and all of our friends here, on Saturday. We don't know exactly which time yet, but and I have really no way to guess. I just don't know. But if Auburn could get to Atlanta, I got to believe that's going to be a big boost. I mean, that's such an epicenter for Auburn alumni area anyway. Ephesians asked me, where does Auburn exit your bracket? I had Auburn in the Final Four, losing to St. John's in the national semifinal is where I had Auburn. I should have taken a picture of my bracket and showed it to you guys. That's what I should have done. But Courtney made me fill one out because she said, of course you're going to fill one out. So I got Auburn going to the Final Four and losing to St. John's, a.k.a. Ricky P. And I had Ricky P. actually winning the national title and beating, it wasn't Alabama. I guess, I don't remember who it was on the other side. Sorry about that. Luca, my man, jumping in with a super chat, says, this is BHK, my man. Sloppy game, not impressed. But I will not take any NCAA tournament win for granted. Come on, man. That's a good one. I'm confident we will get our ish together for Saturday. That would be amazing. Bottom Hall night is who we're talking about there. Yeah, I am hopeful. And I think they got their ish together reasonably well today. I mean, a 20-point win over ASU is not something that you write home about. It's probably a game that 5 years we're going to forget, basically. But in the sense that they had that bad lull in the first half, which I didn't necessarily think was a big deal, but it was bad. They didn't do that in the second half. They brought it. And I thought Auburn kept things going in the second half, even though they were only plus 10 scoring in the second half, which is the same as the first half. I thought the consistency defensively was more linear in the second half, and I think that's a better situation. Oh, no, Desperado, are we still live? I had to put down my only pet today. Oh, that is brutal, man. First time for him sucks so bad. I have been there a few times, and I'm not sure I ever really get over it. Shit, I had to put my mom's dog down one time, who I didn't even like that dog, and it sucked. I spent like half a week like bummed about it, and I didn't even like her. That's really tough when it's one you really like and you spent probably, 10, 12, 15 years together. So I'm sorry about that, brother. I'll be thinking about you, Desperado. Ravin has got to get back to work. As you guys know, as I've said, Ravin does some work that is very, very critical. And I've gotten in arrears of the people in my world that do Ravin's job for whatever reason, and I'm really trying to get back on the right track with them. But I can't really go into detail on that because I don't want to out Ravin. But to have faith, fam, we can still play better, he says. I like that. That's a very positive outlook. Madison C. says, Desperado, sorry. Tough day for you. That is tough. I don't really have any good words for you on that one. When I've gone through it, I've just cried my eyes out. And my wife's just kind of hugged me, and we just kind of tried to get to the next day, you know. And it gets a little bit better every day. That's about all you can say about it. I would miss the hell out of my pug if he were gone. And I miss my pussycat if he was gone, and I know someday they will be gone. And that's just the price you pay for having those 10, 15, years together. All right, so we'll wrap it up there. I will catch you guys on Saturday. Still don't know what time. I suspect it's going to be a daytime game, but I don't know that. Let's see. Brandon says, any word on Steven's post-game rant going off on certain players? Steven. You talking about Stephen Pearl? Why would Stephen Pearl be interviewing anyway? I don't know. I don't know that. I'm interested, Brandon. Runner 24 says your carpet will miss the pug too. Those of you who watch the Brain Drain, the Bourbon Blend, know that my dog likes to drag his wiener on the carpet, and he does it all the time during our show. It's the only show where I let him in. Like on these shows, I close the door because I don't want him in here, but he does like doing that. I don't know why. It's really strange. Courtney thinks that's not why he's doing it. She thinks he's doing it because she had some other reason. I don't know. Brandon J says, Pearl. Stephen Pearl's post-game rant going off on certain players. Interesting. Okay, now Pocket Watch. Now you're speaking the truth. Okay, so it was post-game show. Auburn can't broadcast from the game, but they can broadcast post-game. And then BP would have had to go to the NCAA interview room. They make him do that. So Auburn would probably ask for another coach. In this case, it could have been Ira, it could have been Corey. In this case, it was Stephen Pearl. And it sounds like Stephen had some choice words. I am interested to hear what's going on there when I find out more. I look forward to it. Barbara W. in the house says, War Eagle, let's get Creighton. That's what I'm talking about. I ain't worried about nobody from Omaha. I don't think you are either. Chip says, no bourbon blend because of some Mook's birthday. Wait, man. We streamed today for a while, and, that's probably good. If I don't have a Courtney's Cornier, then I don't, what can we do? I feel like we're powerless. Brandon said supposedly he called out JV, a.k.a. Janai Broom, and Chad Bacon Lasagna. Interesting. Chip says Stephen Pearl just saying what we are all thinking. And Grind says, I want to hear now. I do too. Pocket Watch says an assistant coach has to be on Auburn Network postgame during SEC tournament and NCAA tournament. But here's the weird thing about that. So if Auburn can't broadcast the game, right, because of various violations, the covenants in place, they just go live for postgame? Like, that seems like a wet fart to me. Like, well, we're not going to do the game, but we'll do postgame. But that might be what's going on. I'm not at all questioning you at all. I'd like to hear this. Stephen Pearl is a guy who, in my own personal dealings with Stephen Pearl, he lets it rip. More so than BP. J-Dub is in the chat. He says, Chip, damn, bro, calling me out like that. Calling him a mook. Damn, Chip, fighting words over two of my favorite people. I hate to hear it. Although I'm taking J-Dub in that one, Chip. Don't take it the wrong way. He's got a powerful right hand. Brandon says the game was broadcasted. Maybe they just can't put it on radio. Maybe it's just on. Oh, it's only on radio. It's not on streaming. That's what it is. I knew there was something weird going on. Oh, shit. Boom. I just got some big news in my personal life. I saw the text come through. Oh, my God. I can't give away too many details, but I've been in a dispute with a drug manufacturer over a particular medication that I take. And they have been playing hardball with me, being like really mean about like getting this medication to me. And I've had to get my physician involved and all this kind of stuff. And it looks like they finally like caved. Finally. Guys, seriously, it's been going on for 3 weeks. Anyway, let's see what happens. I fell behind. Okay, yeah, I think I get this right. So they can broadcast on the radio here in Montgomery and Auburn and wherever, in Columbus, Georgia, or whatever. They can't stream. I think that's what the deal is. So they were live, and they did go post-game, and they went to Stephen because BP's got it all. Thank you. You guys are all right. I did not question you. I was just trying to get it right in my head. And Brandon J says, I heard Andy on when I was in the car. Got you. 10-4. Everything's on board here. Solo Tigre says, Dylan was not happy with the effort either. Chip says, I hope Stoltz climbed up through the drop-in ceiling in the bathroom to crawl over to the locker room and get the scoop. I could see him doing like Mission Impossible. Bum, 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 bum. And our runner 24 says, better bring the Creed wall to the birthday party. We've got some Bammers that are going to be there, so I don't know if they would even understand the brilliance and the ebullience of a Cam statue and a Creed wall, and just what it would mean to Auburn people, you know. Let's see. Barbara was listening. Said Stephen called out Broom and Chad for lack of effort and said he didn't know why they were flat. If they don't get it together, we'll lose. Whoa. I mean, I like it. I don't think he's wrong. I don't think anybody in the chat here would think that he's wrong. No, Cialis. No, it's one that keeps me going, man. Matter of insurance covering a medication. No. No, it's not that. I think it was just more like I was stuck in like this. It's a medication where I get it directly from the manufacturer instead of like from my pharmacy because of financial situations. And then they acted like they had lost it. It's hard to explain. You have to deal with, for me in this situation, I have to deal with 3 companies. I know this is way out of pocket here, but I got to deal with they have a business arm, they have a pharmacy that they kind of have control of, and then they have the business, like the actual company. And then like you bounce between the 3 of them and they all don't communicate. And it's just, you get stuck in this, like, it's basically like limbo or whatever. I don't know, but it looks like I might have gotten this settled because I just got a text saying that they just received a prescription today at 5:00 in the afternoon. Like, what? Anyway, so let me think about this. Hold on. Before we get too far down this road, what Barbara was saying, and others were as well, about Steven kind of getting on some folks after the game, let's get Auburn's box score up here. And I'm trying to remember some of these grades we gave out. Now, it is definitely not Blue Pill, guys. Come on now. I would just get that from row.com or Hims and Hers. That's not a problem. I have stock too. We gave good grades to some of these folks. So Janai, 14 points, 11 boards, 1 assist, 3 turnovers, 5 of 9 from the floor, 4 of 9 from the free throw line. Not great, but like that's not really an effort question, is it? So I think I gave him a B-. I think Chip probably gave him a B or a B-. I mean, I don't know. Now, Chad had a kind of a bad game. 5 points on 1 of 9 shooting. 2 boards, which is bad for a wing. Come on, he should do better than that. 3 assists and 2 turnovers. But honestly, like, he's 2 turnovers away from me giving him a B+, probably. Now, I said early in the game that he was bringing his super-duper high effort. I don't think that really continued through the game. He just kind of came out fired up, but I don't know. Those 2 guys didn't look like particularly bad to me. I mean, Chad probably had the worst game of the starters because Miles was great. Dylan was great. Denver was at least good with the ball. Janai I thought was okay, and then Chad's not so great. But I'd certainly defer to what Coach Stephen Pearl says about that. I may have to text him later and see what he thinks about it. Chip actually says he revised CBM down. JP Morgan revised its stat and now had CBM at a price point of 72, down from 102. I got you, buddy. I got you. Let's see. Grind says they can't combine for less than 20% of our points, and we go far. Yeah, I mean, Chad's got to give you more than 5. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. But I also try to give him space for having a bad shooting game. It happens sometimes. I mean, we've seen some great players have bad shooting nights, but yeah. Grind says, I didn't watch, but I agree with Steven, LOL. You know, I say that to my wife so many times, like, you know, in the course of a week. Like, I don't even listen to her. And I go, I totally agree with you. Yeah. And she'd be like, what did I just say? I'm like, I just want you to know I agree with you totally. I don't know. But whatever it is, I would have agreed with you anyway. I've been with you long enough to know that I agree with 98% of the things you say. All right, seriously, we're going to get off the air now. And we're going to let it rip. I will see you guys Saturday for sure. If you're J-Dub, though, I'm going to see you tonight. And we'll keep it going on the auburnsports.com website. You know, the Stoltzy's been writing a bunch of stuff. BMAT is there now, or he got there last night. So he's going to be doing stuff wall to wall today. And it's going to be full coverage for show. And, of course, we'll be doing our thing here Saturday, keeping it real with you guys and doing what we do. Doing every single game since the North Alabama game. I thought it was crazy that we commit to doing every single game this season. I thought it was insane. I wasn't sure about it. I had to run that by Courtney. D. Lucky had to kind of talk me into it. But I'm so glad we've done it, and we continue to fight another day, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll keep it going. I'll see you guys Saturday, of course, in the bunker. We never go to sleep at the bunker. Till then, keep your feet on the ground. Keep reaching for the stars. Have a great couple days, and I'll see you on Saturday. Peace and love. See ya.